I step into the day with the dawn ringing in my ears. Oh, well, I tune into my TV show. No better way, I gotta get myself into gear. Let's go. Oh, and I feel good today with my wake up in the morning Expresso. I feel good today. It's my feel good breakfast show.
Good morning. Welcome to it. It is such a pleasure to have you join us. Very good morning from myself. My name is Graham Richards.
My name is Jamie Domberg, and as you know, it is Health Tuesday here on your Feel Good Breakfast Show. And you're at the perfect place to get clued up on all things COVID-19. It is still the big topic. We're still going through the second wave. So, of course, we're going to inform you, educate you for the next 3 hours. So stick with us.
Thank you so much. You guys have been a massive part of this conversation. If you've got any more questions, as you've had over the last couple of weeks, please weigh in. We have decided to bring in infectious diseases specialist and good friend on the show. He is an HIV clinician as well, Dr. Emil Reed, to give us the answers. In fact, he was the first person that we spoke about the virus with way back when, before it broke in South Africa. And I remember him saying these words, "Write this year off. Look where we stand now." But we're going to try and give you as many of those answers as we can. So it's a serious Health Tuesday, yes, but we're also going to have a lot of fun as well and connect with two unbelievably, ridiculously gorgeous human beings this morning, looking so fly.
yes.
Good morning, guys.
We're also camera ready. A very good morning to you, team. How are you doing, right?
So good, Kukle Adams. I am choosing you today. It's Tuesday, and I choose to spend it with you and deliver Mzansi the rest of the magic as we do what we do.
Best, exactly. And what we do best is getting in touch with you on our social media platforms. And we are reaching out on our Facebook post asking you guys, this is actually a really funny question, okay? What is the strangest and most unusual thing you've ever had in your handbag? Hashtag Expresso Show. This question is not limited to ladies, please. It's also for guys, whether you do have man purses or backpacks. What's the weirdest thing you've ever had?
Bags in general. For me, I don't know. I think maybe just a dog, I guess. I don't know, nothing crazy. What about you?
Wait, what kind of dog?
I don't know, like a friend's dog that couldn't climb the mountain anymore. So I was like, let's just put him in my bag. You know, I'm a good guy, I'm a good
You're
guy.
so cute.
But it wasn't a fashion statement, at least.
Was it
wasn't a meet poodle.
Was it those small, cute pups?
Kinda, yeah, kinda. What about you? What's the craziest thing you've had in your bag?
I don't have any crazy thing, really. I have the essentials. I know that the women out there watching right now know what I'm talking about. Touch up my makeup. I have wipes. I have sanitizer. I have hand cream. Sometimes I have flip-flops in my shoes just in case I'm wearing heels and I get tired. Then I would say shoes would be the weirdest thing I've had in my purse.
I took you to have something crazy, but I think you're lying. But Mzansi, let us know, of course, on our social media channels as we kick at the rest of the show. We'll be chatting to you along the way, but let's find out what's happening first up in the news.
Thank you so much, guys. Let's start here in South Africa with the national news first. President Cyril Ramaphosa yesterday confirmed that the country would receive its first shipment of COVID-19 vaccines from India very soon. New Delhi has allowed the commercial export of vaccines, and a shipment is expected to arrive any day now. The government signed a purchase agreement with the Serum Institute, which is the world's largest vaccine manufacturer, which has been bulk producing the Oxford AstraZeneca shot in India. 1 million doses should reach South Africa this week, and then a further 500,000 doses will be flown out next month. Then the missing Fourways hippo is alive, well, and back in its natural habitat. The runaway hippo was first spotted wandering around in Chartwell near the Yixkay River last month, and later again in Fourways. And the Gauteng Agriculture Department said it has moved back to its original habitat, the Hartbeespoort Dam. This was established with the assistance of technology, including drones, used by the Endangered Wildlife Trust. The Agriculture Department and Wildlife Trust will continue monitoring the movements of the hippo, just in case it feels like visiting Fourways again. And casting a wider net on the international front, a group of Cuban medics, including 5 doctors and 9 nurses, have arrived in Mozambique to help fight the COVID-19 pandemic. The country's health ministry said they would be stationed in hospitals in the capital Maputo, which is the epicenter of the pandemic in the country. In total, 45 Cuban healthcare professionals are expected to arrive in the country. A second group is expected to arrive in Maputo next week. And they will include 25 doctors and 6 nurses along with them. Mozambique has so far reported 32,418 coronavirus cases and now registered 305 deaths. Then Moderna's COVID vaccine appears to work against new, more infectious variants of the pandemic virus found in the UK and South Africa. US scientists said early laboratory tests suggest that antibodies triggered by the vaccine can recognize and fight the new variants. But more studies are needed to confirm this is true for people that have been vaccinated. The new variants have undergone mutations and can infect human cells more easily than the original version of coronavirus. Experts think the UK strain may be up to 70% more transmissible. And now, on the lighter side, news of the first giant panda to be born in South Korea. A video of 6-month-old giant panda, Fu Bao, clinging to a zookeeper's leg has gone viral with more than 4 million views on YouTube. After she had her weight checked by the zookeeper, she clung to his leg, refusing to let go. Fu Bao, which means lucky treasure, is the first panda to be born in South Korea. Her parents, Ai Bao and Le Bao, arrived there in 2016 as part of China's panda diplomacy program, and the symbol of the cordial relationship between the two countries. Fu Bao is supposed to return to China after some 4 to 5 years, the duration it usually takes for young pandas to separate from their parents. Now, earlier, K-pop band Blackpink had sparked outrage in China after videos were circulated showing band members as non-professionals handling and cuddling Fu Bao. But can anyone actually blame them? Fu Bao is unbelievably cute, and I don't think that anyone would be able to resist that little panda. But that's where we leave our news headlines for now. Let's get into the sport. Let's start with Sevens news. The Springboks Sevens squad will travel to Spain next month to participate in 2 tournaments hosted by the Spanish Rugby Union. This will be the first tournament arranged by World Rugby to help teams prepare for the Tokyo Olympics, of course, in July. Saviwe Suez Wapi will lead the team for the first time since December 2019. They'll be joined by the 2 most experienced players, Branko de Prea and Chris Dry. Major experience in that squad. Now also included in the squad are JC Pretorius, Selvin Davids, who were named in the World Series Dream Team last year. The 2 tournaments will be played on consecutive weekends from the 19th to the 21st and then the 26th to the 28th of February at the Campo UCM Central in Madrid, Spain. Staying with rugby news, South African referee Jaco Peyper will take charge of the Currie Cup final between the Bulls and the Sharks this coming Saturday. This will be Peyper's 5th time reffing a Currie Cup final. He'll be assisted by AJ Jacobs, Griffin Colby and Marius van der Westhuizen as the TMO. The Currie Cup final will take place this Saturday at Loftus Versfeld. Kickoff is at 3 p.m. Onto football. The Nedbank Cup last 32 fixtures, venues and kickoff times for the opening round of the competition have now been announced by the Premier Soccer League. Glad Africa Championship sides Polokwane City and Steenberg United will kick off proceedings on Wednesday the 3rd of February at 3 p.m. Then later that day, defending champions Mamelodi Sundowns will welcome Stellenbosch FC to Loftus. That's at 5 p.m. Then the last fixture will take place on Monday the 8th of February between Baroka FC and Cape Town Spurs. Then staying with the beautiful game, Chelsea have done it. They have sacked their manager, Frank Lampard, after 18 months in charge of the club. Lampard, former player at the club, led the Blues to the FA Cup final and a 4th-place finish in the English Premier League in his first season in charge of the club. 42-year-old is said to be replaced by former Paris Saint-Germain boss Thomas Tuchel, and we'll follow that story closely. And staying in the UK, Jose Mourinho's Tottenham Hotspur, they thrashed Wycombe Wanderers 4-1 at Adams Park in their FA Cup to advance to the 5th round of the competition. Goals by Gareth Bale, Harry Winks and a brace by Tanguy Ndombele in the 87th and 93rd minutes, confirming the win for Spurs. They'll next face Everton at Goodison Park in the 5th round. That's where we leave our sporting headlines for now. Let's take another look at the weather.
Thank you so much, G, for the news and sports update. It's time for us to have the first weather update of the morning. We have asked you to share your sunrise pictures with us, and you answered the call. We're going to start off with Pat Sankel, who sent through this lovely image from Durban, South Africa's playground. Your maximum is going to be a humid 31 degrees. Jenneridge Archibald Taylor posted this gorgeous photo of the sun rising in the distance in Bloemfontein. Mostly sun and clouds are forecast for your area. However, you can expect a 40% chance of thunder showers in the afternoon, and your high will be 26 degrees. Thank you all so much for sharing your part of the country with us. If you too would like to feature in our Sunrise segment, it's very simple. Just head over to our Expresso Facebook page to share your photo. We love to see how you start off your day. Parts of the Kruger National Park have been flooded as a result of Tropical Storm Eloise, with some bridges now underwater. Some of the bush camps that the park evacuated on Friday are now also submerged, and the park is bracing for more heavy rainfall this Tuesday. Sunday night severe rain resulted in the Sabi River rising substantially, resulting in low water bridges in the area being submerged. Management at the park urged motorists to be extra cautious when traveling in the area. Amazingly, though, animals in the park moved to higher ground when they realized that the storm was coming. Meanwhile, in Gauteng, disaster management teams are on standby to help with any situation locally and have offered assistance to other provinces. We get into a more extended look at your temperatures, starting off at Polokwane. Thunder showers are forecast for this Tuesday, a 42% chance of rain. It's a rainy day in Mbombela with a minimum of 22, reaching a high of 27. Pretoria, it's wet conditions in your part of the country as well, with a low of 16, reaching an afternoon high of 24 degrees. Johannesburg, the city of gold, 15-23, with thunder showers at 44% chance of rain forecast. Mahikeng, 19-25. With rain continuing in your part of the country as well. Wet conditions are also forecast in Klerksdorp with a low of 19, reaching a high of 27 degrees. Kimberley, 20-28, and some summer rain is also forecast. Bloemfontein, your part of the country, the thunder showers continue at 40% chance of rain. Richards Bay, it's a mostly cloudy day with a maximum of 31 degrees. Pietermaritzburg, 19-33. South Africa's Playground Durban, 24-31 are your temperatures this Tuesday. Mthatha, with 19 degrees, reaching a high of 33 degrees. And East London, you start off the day with a minimum of 20, reaching a maximum of 28 degrees. Cradock, it's a partly cloudy day, 17, reaching a scorching 36 degrees. Port Elizabeth, the friendly city, 20-26. And George, it's a mostly cloudy day with a low of 17, reaching an afternoon high of 24 degrees. The mother city, Cape Town, 17-24. Worcester, it's going to be a sunny day, reaching a maximum of 34 degrees. Sutherland, you kick off the day with a low of 11, reaching a high of 32 degrees. And Uppington, do expect some thunder showers forecast at 40% chance of rain. This was the first look at your stunning sunrise pictures and the weather forecast for this Tuesday. We'll have another look shortly after the top of the hour. But remember, whichever part of the country you're in, whatever the weather, make sure to have yourselves a feel-good kind of day.
And let me tell you, it is going to be a feel-good kind of day indeed. It is Tuesday. We are choosing to be happy. We are choosing to surround ourselves with positivity. But we're also choosing to spend this day with none other than
Arno Carstens!
He is in the building, going to be sharing all about what he's up to for 2021. So stick around with us. We'll see you after this.
Welcome back. Of course, you're still locked in at your Feel Good Breakfast show on this beautiful Tuesday. And now, over 25 years, musician and artist Arno Carstens has kept South African audiences enthralled with his powerful voice, alternative music, and his electric paintings. Now, he's also been keeping very busy during lockdown, adapting quickly to the new way of doing things and continuing to marvel us with these many, many talents. So, ladies and gentlemen, please give us a warm, warm welcome for Arno Carstens!
I love that.
What is that?
Even if you're on marching band. Oh, so fitting.
What is the soundtrack to your life? Your everyday song that just keeps on playing?
It's, wow. Okay, we all got our favourite songs. And
Yes.
there's certain songs just bring out a kind of a positivity, makes you feel, yeah, it's cool. And that was always Waterboy's Whole of the Moon.
Okay.
You saw the whole of the moon.
All right. Yeah.
Okay, we need to check that one
I can
out,
picture
right?
that now.
Definitely. I love your energy, and it's always a pleasure to have you on the show.
Thanks for having me.
You are fondly loved and appreciated as the lead singer of the group Springbok Nude Girls, of which you're still performing and recording together, right? Although you have a well-established career.
I think we're more like TKZ.
Ooh.
Do they, you know, we play like 3 times a year,
You're saying
maybe.
TKZ and Benny together?
I don't know. But, you know, one guy's sitting in San Francisco, the other guy's in the UK. So 2 years ago, we got together to record a little album, and that's what we're busy putting out now. But it's taken 2 years to mix. It's like the Chinese democracy from Guns N' Roses. It took forever. So, but that'll come out this year. I mean, it was supposed to come out last year, but, you know, last year was last year.
Yes.
So it's rolling over.
And speaking of last year, I mean, it's really cool. And from what I noticed from you, I mean, you were still able to, during such a chaotic time, be able to link up with some incredible artists. I mean, we're talking about the likes of Zolani Mahola, Jocks Moolman and Rafense. So what was it like still kind of, I mean, these are artists that you're aware of, but connecting on such a different medium and trying to still bring that magic, what is it like?
Well, the COVID has granted us this kind of beautiful time for artists to produce a lot and also to collaborate. So we did these little shows, and it gave me the opportunity to sit there and actually listen to them. And I mean, Zulani. And then, I mean, you know, Art Matthews, of course, a beautiful voice, and Jacques Moolman, a very interesting, good-looking guy with beautiful music that I really like. But Zulani and Rafense, I was a bit stunned because I was suddenly... They go for these quiet moments, and it's just, it's a bit. I stood up and I walked away and I went, so that's how the professionals do it. You know, they really love their craft, and that's what came to forth.
They focus down to the last detail. I've seen Uzolani perform, and it's just immaculate.
Slow, and I'm like, what?
Well, that's the beauty of collaboration, I suppose. You get to kind of join forces and create something special. I remember us catching up with you last year, I think at the peak of lockdown, and we've had the pleasure of seeing some of the paintings that you have been doing. Why the shift to depicting, you know, the female form when it comes to your painting especially?
Well, basically, last year I started to really concentrate on to learn how to really paint, and somehow the female form is the ultimate beautiful thing on the planet. So for me, that was just a natural thing to go for the female form, to try and kind of conquer it in a certain way. Because I haven't done it when I was a teenager.
And added to that, I mean, I'm looking at some of your art, some of it which I think is so cool because you've added it to one of your albums even, one of the collages you were making. But for me, I mean, I was scrolling through and there's a specific painting, I think it's called The 11th Hour, and it's a female with
11 eyes.
Yeah, man, it's there's something about it that really stands out. And again, obviously mentioned the fact that you are depicting the female form, but of late I am seeing a slight deviation.
It's like music. I can only do rock for a little bit, then I've got to do something else. I get bored quickly. So I do the female forms. I did a whole bunch of them, and now I'm moving on to some other weirder stuff a little bit more. Yeah, give yourself a break.
Do you sell your art?
I do sell. I mean, we do sell. I sell, what do you call it? Prints, everything. I even sell whatever, man. At this stage, I'll sell whatever.
Actually, on that point, saying that at this stage, whatever, I know that 2020 hit the music industry really hard because you guys were kept from, you know, performing and all of that. What is the plan for 2021? How are you trying to approach 2021?
Okay, so 2021 is, for me personally, feels like I don't have this fight like I had in 2020 because that was fresh and we all the artists, we got together and we all sit together and we all did shows kind of when we could. This year it's just like, oh no, you know. So we're a bit deflated, but the positive side of it is that this year, those albums that didn't come out last year, like my new solo album and the Nude Girls album, that must come out this year.
2 albums in 2020.
Yes, so it's going to be a year of great excitement in that sense, yes.
We love to hear it.
Thank you so much, Arno Carstens. It's such a pleasure having you in the studio. And of course, ladies and gentlemen, he's not going anywhere. He's going to be joining us. But if you want to stick around and see some more of his work, we've got Arno Carstens' fine art that you can check out online, where he is selling those original oil paintings as well as some of those canvas copies too. And of course, also Arno Carstens' music, which we all know and love so dearly. And we're going to find out about it later in the show. But stick around for more as we carry on with Tuesday's Magic.
Another universe, still one of my all-time favorites. So proud to have Arno here. But from one art form to another, I've always been absolutely fascinated by Japanese culture. It's elegant, it's sophisticated. The flavors in their food are always so carefully considered a real art, undoubtedly. Now, Expresso are honoring this with their new World Explorations Tokyo Lungo coffee, part of their new Lungo range, which I have been putting to the test. They are amazing. And today, we are creating a simple yet sophisticated drink in true Japanese fashion, a matcha latte. Matcha was so hot last year, we're going to bring it back for 2021. There's 2 parts to this, so I think you're going to handle the matcha and the milk infusion on your side, and then I'll do the coffee. I mean, just look at that beautiful little pod. It's got the cherry blossoms, the packaging is beautiful, the styling is amazing, and the flavor is gorgeous. So I will grab the honey from you, if I can do that.
And no pressure if it's really good, which is going to be. We are going to give this to Arno.
We'll do that. I'm going to try to line the glass with a bit of honey, so we've got that natural sweetness. That looks beautiful.
I'm going to put in our milk, so about 150 ml of milk going into our little machine, and then the matcha as well. Yes, I remember last year matcha used to be that thing everyone.
It was on everything. It was every food, every drink. Obviously really healthy, but it's got a beautiful, unusual flavor profile that's going to work so beautifully here. So obviously being a lungo, I'm going to go for the lungo. And this is a flavor intensity 6, so it's kind of medium roast Arabica, beautiful floral, fruity notes and natural sweetness as depicted by the gorgeous cherry blossoms on the packaging. Look at that crema, that beautiful head that you get right off the get-go. Like, this is going to be a beautiful balance of kind of the sweet and the kind of natural flavors of the matcha. It's going to be a good one. Hopefully, Arno will love it. I'm fanboy over Arno all the time when I see him, because I was there, like, I'm old enough to have been there when the Nude Girls first kind of broke in, and no one had ever seen rock stars like that in this country. They completely redefined the rock star genre in South Africa.
And now you're making coffee for him, so again, no
how
pressure.
Beautiful does that look?
That is gorgeous already. So we're just waiting, obviously, for our matcha infusion. Again, the honey went in, and then we're going to top it off with some sesame seeds.
Just for that added oriental flavor. Absolutely beautiful.
Have you ever been to Japan?
I haven't been to Japan, but I'm enamored with it. I love the culture. I love the martial arts aspects of the culture there, the connection to history, the fact that they've been able to keep that connection now in a modern, and probably some of the most modern cities anywhere in the world. They are now kind of have this balance of connection to their history and their culture with the modern. That for me is just something truly amazing. So that's definitely on my bucket list. Maybe I'll take my boy there at some point and we'll actually go and see a real life samurai.
Well, we knew you weren't there, so we brought this to you. Do you think we should invite Arno in? So that
I think let's invite him and then he can see the finished product.
Arno, do you want to come in and try?
We are making you, my friend, a matcha latte, okay? Do you think it's ready, yeah? There we go.
This one?
Okay. This is the one.
Oh, my goodness.
I know,
I thought that's the coffee.
Oh, it's coming. It's coming, my friend.
You're going to hold that
Yeah, we've learnt our lesson.
Yes.
Okay, and then we're going to add our matcha milk infusion.
Have you ever been to Japan, Arno?
No, but I do love the fashions over there.
Yeah.
The bright little fashions.
The bright little fashion.
Well, we are taking your taste buds all the way there this morning.
And I'm a Bruce Lee fan, so I get what you're saying.
I absolutely
Sesame
love the
seeds?
connection. Oh, we finished off with some sesame seeds. I'm a little bit nervous now.
He's fat. He's fat.
I'm having a little bit of a
Fanboy.
fanboy.
You sound fat.
I would never do that on live.
No, you look fantastic. You look amazing this
Thank you.
morning. You look beautiful.
Yeah, I
this
am a
morning,
friend
man.
of Bruce Lee, and let's keep it like that.
You look amazing.
Give it a try.
And?
Interesting.
More.
So many colours are coming to.
I think this will inspire you to create a piece of art.
I must say, these little things make a phenomenal...
Really?
Yeah,
The
it's
sesame
absolutely
seeds.
delicious.
Yay.
Can I have this?
I made it for you, my friend. I made it for you.
Thank you very much, and goodbye.
And goodbye. You've done it. Job is done. Hopefully it'll warm up the vocal cords. If you'd like to recreate this beautiful matcha latte, you can do it. You can go onto the expressoshow.com website. We've got all of our recipe inspiration right there. The flavors are distinct yet subtle, just like Japanese culture. And to get your hands on this delicious recipe, as I said, go to expressoshow.com. Have a little bit of fun with it, create something truly special, and get into the new Lungo range from Nespresso. There are so many variants that you will love. I feel like we need to make one for ourselves.
Wait, I'm not ready.
We chose some of the world's rarest local coffee crafts and refined them to create 5 distinct new tastes. After all, we are the choices we make.
Oh, you can make my day. It's my feel-good breakfast show.
When it comes to New Year's resolutions, health and wealth seems to come out on top every year. Through a survey carried out by Game, 2021 proved to be no different, with 69% of South Africans aiming towards better health and wellness. Juanita Khumalo, a fierce fitness and wellness advocate, joins us this morning to chat about the importance of living a holistic lifestyle and how exactly she's become part of Game's Wellness Hub, where you could stand the chance of winning a 2,500 Rand voucher. Good morning, Juanita.
Good morning. How are you guys?
We're doing well, thank you. Jamie was actually just sharing how she's done one of your online fitness videos before.
Yeah.
Girl, you put me through my paces. You have to go onto social media. You are basically going to die. But for those that do follow you on Instagram, you're also a wellness coach and an inspirational fitness figure. You just doing the most out there, Mama. But we want to know how your fitness journey first began and also maybe why you're an advocate for living such a holistically healthy life.
Look, my fitness journey began in 2018. And at that point in my life, I was extremely, but I was overweight. I was very unhappy. My lifestyle was not healthy, no exercise, no eating well at all. And I was extremely unhappy with the point where I was. I had just gotten out of a toxic relationship. My grandmother had just passed away. So I told myself though that, look, I looked in the mirror one day and I was like, this is not the woman that I want to be, and this is not the best version of myself. And I told myself that I need to change things, and I want to be happy. I want to be the best version of myself. And then that's how it started. And it started with me simply running in the yard, making a couple of changes in my diet. And from there on, I've never turned back, and I'll never do so, mainly because like fitness and just holistic wellness has completely shifted and changed my life for the better. And I mean, I've seen myself perform better just overall, mentally, spiritually, emotionally, from a work perspective, and my well-being is just so much in a much more better state.
That's so important, and I love everything you've just said. I mean, it's so important to kind of look after yourself and tick every single box. Now, Unita, lockdown, it has mentally and physically been extremely draining on all of us. Do you mind telling us more about the toll lockdown has had on our bodies as we enter into this new year, and why Game has decided to introduce a wellness hub on its website?
The problem with lockdown is that majority of us ended up actually having to move less than what we normally do. And that, of course, impacted our physical well-being in that regard. So the nibbles started increasing. We're eating out of boredom. We were highly stressed, and anxiety had peaked. So that also contributed to it. And that is just from the mental side effect of it, like just the stress of it, the worry, the anxiety. People are losing jobs. So it took a massive toll on us psychologically as well as physically. Our sleeping routine was completely disrupted as well. And I think for me, the important part about the partnership with Game is the fact that, look, they recognized the fact that our mental well-being, our spiritual well-being, our physical well-being has been compromised because we're not training as much. And basically, Game wanted to introduce a wellness hub, which basically tells you that, hey, they have got you. And what you can do is that we can literally move more at home. All the resources that you particularly need, workout videos, content and knowledge on nutrition, on fitness, and on supplements, and so much more. They have made that available on their website. It's a hub of wellness, knowledge, and wisdom on their actual website.
Now, Janita, I heard a little birdie say that you're going to be putting myself and Zoe through our paces with a workout. I don't know. I'm not ready. I don't know if you are ready, Zoe.
I don't know if I'm ready for Unita's level.
But we are going to stick around with you and work out and definitely get that calories burned, so don't go anywhere. But of course, for you at home, if you want to take part, and you can do this by taking a photo or video of yourself participating in the hashtag #GameOnUnbeatableU challenge online with an exercise move, or just making a meal from a meal plan, and post it on your Instagram page. And then you just have to tag GameStores_SA and also Joaquim Malo in your post when you enter. And don't forget to include that hashtag #GameOn to stand a chance to win a 2,500 Rand Game Stores voucher. Now remember, those T's and C's can be found on expressoshow.com, and the competition runs until Friday the 29th of January 2021.
That's right. And remember, opening hours are Monday to Friday from 9 to 6, Saturday from 9 to 5, and Sunday and public holidays from 9 to 4.
Stunning work, Juanita Kumalo. Can't wait to see that fitness workout coming through here on your Feel Good Breakfast Show. Thank you very much for choosing to start the morning off with us right here on SABC3. Now, we know that we're in for a treat this morning when it comes to entertainment. We are really going to be entertained throughout the morning with music from the legendary Arno Carstens. But of course, first we're going to be putting his knowledge from 25 years in the music industry to test with a round of my favorite game on the show. It's called Music Match. And when you are someone, or if you're someone like Arno Carstens, I mean, 25 years, you've written lots and lots of songs. There isn't a single word that you've not used in writing music. And if you are someone like Raul Demone, you have listened to so many songs that there isn't a word that you can't think of in a song. And of course, how it's going to work is I'm going to give Arno Carstens and Raul Demone a word, and they'll need to sing a song that features that particular word in the lyrics. Gentlemen, are you ready for it?
That particular word?
Yeah, so if I give you a word like...
Then I must sing a song?
Yeah. That contains that particular word in the lyrics. You understand it,
No,
yeah?
it's easy.
It's easy for you. I mean, easy for you to say, Arno. Okay. Raul, are you up for the challenge?
Do I get to phone a friend and 50-50?
I'm the only friend in this space that you have, and I want to...
Knew it.
Exactly. Let's get this show, or rather this game going. I'm going to start with you, Arno, because you are our guest. The first word this morning is through.
I must make a song with through.
Oh, but yes. And that certainly isn't a song,
see
right?
through you today. There's no song.
Did you just make that up now on the spot?
It sounds like Teddy Pentegrass.
Okay, Raul, let's go. And the word is go.
Let it go, no holding back anymore.
That's easy.
Let it go. Frozen. Come on, guys, come on. Yeah.
Listen, I can't lose this game.
Well, you know, the seniors upstairs have spoken. It is correct, Arno. This one is for you, and it's hit.
Hit me, baby, one more time.
But you have to sing it,
You gotta sing it.
Hit me, baby, one more time.
Oops,
oh,
I did it again. Oh, yeah. All right, okay. Raul Demone, yours is under.
Under.
Oh, easy.
Under the sea. Under the sea.
You know the first thing was... Okay, well, he's got it.
Under the sea.
Thinking for a moment, under pressure.
Oh, that's a good one, actually.
You could have gone that way as well. Okay, cool. Let's go. Blue.
Wow. Daddy's little blue eyes are come for you. That's my song, so I get it.
I'd love to give us these nice little one-liners. Raise. Let's raise the bar a little bit here, Raul Demone. Come on, raise.
You raise me up.
There we go.
So I can stand on mountains.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not going to do the next part.
I love it.
It's early.
Side.
Side.
Yeah, side.
Side.
Like a side chick.
Oh.
But like side, just the word.
And Western what's it? In Western boys and dead and girls. Oh, no.
Now I can't tell if you're making this up on the spot.
I know.
It really does exist.
Okay, I give in. I really did a song with the word side in.
I'm going to
My
give
side.
you a point there.
Shadow me, shadow you. God, is that no side?
There isn't a word side there. I'm sorry, Arno, you're a legend, but I have to not give you a point there. Give.
Yo, come on, Raul, think.
Come on, yes, please.
Whitney Houston, try, go for that one.
Give.
She like to give.
Okay, Raul, I have to move on, my dear. We haven't got all day here. Honestly, Raul. Arno, have you got a song with the word give?
I was thinking Whitney Houston's got that one song.
What is it?
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. All right. I'm going to give you another word. Say.
Say something, I'm giving up on you.
Well done.
Say what you did. Michael Jackson and Paul McCartney.
Okay.
Human.
I'm only human.
After all, I'm only human.
Because there was a song by, Human League that did, I'm only human. Da 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 da.
If you can make art, but that's
Human League, check it out. Google.
You got 25 years of knowledge here, so there's a lot of us that got a question to say.
That's the thing, when you do have a catalogue of all these songs that you either written or that you have sung along to or that you have heard so many times over the 25 years, I'm sure it's difficult to dig into.
And the fact that any word that he sings sounds like a song is actually unfair.
Or the fact that you're able to come up with songs on the spot, under pressure,
goodness.
which doesn't make it easy for someone like Raul.
This game was made for me.
It was made for you.
I'm
And ladies and gents, Arno Carstens is our winner for Music Match this morning. Give it up for Arno Carstens! Oh, yes! Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Now, for you at home, stick around for some awesome performances that are coming your way from the one and only Arno Carstens. And I promise you, you will be hearing some of your favorite songs coming through as well. I mean, I can't guarantee that he won't make up some songs as it goes along, but there'll be lots of entertainment coming your way. Connect with us on social media. Expresso Morning Show, SABC3. Arno.
Cool.
Looking for fantastic health and weight loss benefits without a lifestyle change or being on a diet? Well, Shapeline 50 Billion from Proven Probiotics is the first ever probiotic to offer scientifically proven weight loss, while at the same time boosting immune and digestive health. That's why we think Shapeline 50 Billion may well be the world's most effective probiotic. Available at Dis-Chem and Clicks.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Earlier we spoke to Juanita Khumalo. She is, of course, taking on that hashtag Game On Unbeatable You challenge, and she's about to put myself and Jamie Lee Domberg through our paces, and I hope you are ready to join in. So perhaps maybe roll out your little yoga mat or get ready just to have fun in your lounge.
Hello. How are you guys doing?
We are good and we are ready.
Okay, we're very excited. Where do we start?
So like I said, guys, we're going to do a head circuit. The first two exercises that we'll do will be a warm-up exercise. So two very simple ones, in fact. So just give me a couple of butt kicks first, and then a couple of jumping jacks. So butt kicks, 30 seconds, jumping jack, 30 seconds. So butt kicks, what do I mean? 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Try and make sure that your feet try and kick your butt as much as you can. So you guys ready?
Yes, we are ready. Go.
We go.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. 10 more. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. So what I'm going to ask you guys to do now, give me traditional jumping jacks. Let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. 10 more. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Just for 20 more reps, just give me a couple of high knees. High knees, it's 1, 2. You should start profile. 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. 5 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1. How you guys feeling?
Suffering through this warm-up.
I'm modifying. I'm doing it for everyone at home that couldn't keep up with you. So I got you.
What's the exercise? The lower body exercise. You're going to give me a split lunge. Lunge, very important, works out your lower body. And it targets your quads, targets your glutes. So you have to do it and stand straight. Step 1 foot back. And what you need to do is go down in that position. So the important thing about a lunge, you need to make sure that your form is correct. So you're not leaning forward like that. Your knee is not overextending your toes. So you are literally straight position and then go down. You guys see what the knee is? Very important. And then go up, down, up, down. You're gonna pulsate.
Okay.
1, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Stop to the other side quickly, guys.
Oh, quick.
Stop to the other side. Stop, quick swap. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Who could feel that?
It's burning.
It's burning.
Perfect. Like I said again, this is a leg circuit. So what we're going to do as well is that I'm going to include core exercises. FYI guys, if you want to do more of these, please do head to the game page. Hashtag this game on. And of course, for this one, it targets our core. That's what I want to try and do as well. So standing core exercise. Some people think that you need to have a mat always, but not necessarily. So what you're going to do is you're going to crunch in, body straight, and then crunch. So as you come up, engage your core. Engage your core muscles, but at the same time, do breathe. So let's go. 3, 2, 1. Let's go. 1. And then crunch. A pause, hold, 2 second pause. 1, 2, pause. 1, 2, pause. Crunch. Pause. 2 more. 1, 2. There you go. 1 more. 1, 2. Squeeze and crunch. The other side, guys, we need to work those obliques. 3, 2, 1. Let's go. 1. Up, or you get up, guys, make sure that your balance is okay. If not, you're going to end up basically doing what I just did right now. So make sure that your balance is fine. Let's go. 2, squeeze. 3, 4, 5, and 6. 2 more. Let's go. 7, squeeze. And 8. Squeeze. Are you guys okay? Are you guys all right?
Good.
We are silent this time.
Silent. The fact that we're silent, we know that we've been put through our paces on Nita. Already, I'm feeling a burn. Zoe, this is your first time in a class with her. How do you feel?
I feel, wow, this is intense. This is a next level of fitness. But I will definitely be checking out her Instagram to see what she's been, you know, how she's put everyone's through their paces.
We want to say thank you so much for joining us. And again, just getting that heartbeat up, making sure that we live a more holistic, healthy lifestyle for 2021. And of course, everyone can connect with Juanita on her Instagram and Facebook pages, and then also get into that hashtag Game On Unbeatable You challenge by taking a photo or video of yourself participating in the hashtag Game On Unbeatable You challenge online with an exercise move or just making a meal from a meal plan and post it on your Instagram page. And then you just have to tag GameStores_SA and also Joao Kumalo in your post when you enter. And don't forget to include that hashtag Game On to stand a chance to win a 2,500 Rand Game Stores voucher. Now remember, those T's and C's can be found on expressoshow.com, and the competition runs until Friday the 29th of January 2021.
That looked really hectic. Chef Neil Anthony, how often do you work out?
Oh, at least once a month.
Oh. I was waiting for once a day, once a week, once every 2 weeks. No, fair enough. I'm there with you.
I watch this from my couch, and I consider that a workout.
I get it,
Yeah,
though.
yeah, exactly.
I get it.
You've got to be clever these days. You know?
100%.
Social distancing.
Work smart, okay? After that incredible workout, we're definitely on the right track in terms of our health. All we need now is a wholesome and delicious meal to accompany it. Tatana maqaphe enu bethuna and get ready to feast on our Be Well blueberry coconut breakfast jars. It sounds so delicious and it's quick as well. It can be ready in just under 20 minutes and crammed with fiber, protein, iron, zonke zakhamzimba siznidayo to get us going in the day. Now let's get cooking. Chef?
Exactly. We're going to cook it in under 20 minutes, I promise you.
Yes, okay.
So, yeah.
We have to.
Yes, again, like you said, it's very, very simple, very easy, packed full of loads of goodness. I just got a pot on the stove over here. And this is just plain water. You just chuck some water in.
Do you preheat your pot?
Yeah, always preheat your pot. Always preheat your pot. Then we've got some coconut milk going in there as well. And I mean, you could use any nuts milk if you wanted to. You could use anything. It sometimes gets stuck a bit, but that's okay. So you could either use like full cream milk for this, or you could use, you know, whatever you like.
Yeah.
But for this, we're just going to use coconut milk. The coconut milk also goes really nice with the blueberries and all that, those sort of flavors that we're trying to mash up with it as well.
I'm taken aback right now because I've never seen this method, mixing milk with water in a pot.
And why not? Just some oil as well.
Some oil.
Yeah, often you'd add, when my mother cooked oats for us, she'd always add butter as well. So it's almost, in essence, it's almost like that whole sort of, you know, sort of finishing a risotto sort of style situation. We get that real nice sort of smooth, silky mouthfeel.
That's
so that's what we're after. So that comes to the boil. Boom, boom, boom. In with our oats. These are, you can, well, obviously, if you don't have the quick cooking oats, then you've got to just cook them for longer.
Yeah.
But these are the quick cooking oats. These won't take too long to cook. Into there as well, a tiny bit of salt. We got some vanilla essence. And for another little added bit of sweetness, some maple syrup. You could use some honey. You could use any other sort of natural sweetener that you liked.
Oh.
So that's, in essence, I mean, that's really sort of it. You want to cook that for about, I'd say, I don't know, sort of 4 or 5 minutes at a nice medium heat. Just sort of check it, let it sort of tick over. If the water reduces too far, add some more water, add some more coconut milk. You know, just sort of play around with it. Don't walk away and leave it and go exercise.
Watch over it. So you can decide what kind of consistency you're looking for, whether you want a thick kind of...
Yeah, exactly.
Or very... what other consistency?
Well, just thicker or a thinner consistency. I mean, some people like it thicker, some people like it thinner. If you're going to make this and eat it cold later, I'd make it thinner because when it sits, it sort of solidifies a bit. So if you make it a bit thinner, when it sits, it gets colder as the oats expand. Then it gives it a nicer mouthfeel as well. So that boils away. Also going to add a little bit of rose water.
Okay.
Which gives it a nice, you know, a nice flavor, a nice taste. You could go any sort of almond extract, you could go orange extract, etc., etc. So when it's like halfway done all that, so you pop some blueberries in. Also remember the blueberries are going to release some sort of natural liquid as well.
Yeah.
So that's
I love
down a touch.
blueberries.
Oh yeah.
Smoothies or anything.
Oh, for sure. I mean, they get this real nice sort of fresh pop as well, which is nice and fun. So boom, boom, boom. I mean, and that's it. You just really sort of simmer that away until it's cooked. Just keep tasting it throughout the process. I like to chuck in a little bit of a coconut flake as well in the end. It also gives it a real nice sort of, you know, crunch. So you got that sort of pop of the beetroot and that real nice sort of crunch of the coconut. And that's it, really. You simmer them. Bob's your uncle.
Done.
Boom. And
in 5 minutes,
like
actually.
I say, I mean,
Less than 5 minutes. And one thing that I really appreciate about this chef meal is that not only is it filling, but also it's very nutritious.
Oh, big time, yeah.
This is the perfect recipe to get you on the go, okay? If you'd like to get the list of ingredients and how to make it, make sure to head on over to our website, expressoshow.com. But I can't just let this go by. I have to get involved.
Like I said, hot, cold.
Always.
You know, more nuts on top, more blueberries, a little drizzle of oil.
Which nuts are these ones? Because I see you...
These are pistachio, and then you've got the coconuts as well. So, I mean, just, you know, just go mad. And it's really nice. As it sits yet again, the blueberries break, and you get that nice sort of ripple effect. So, yeah.
Also, there's kind of like a biscuity taste to it.
Yeah, that's the toasted coconut, yeah.
Oh, it's delicious. And
Ooh, get involved.
I'm taking this one with me right now. Make sure you get involved by heading over to our website, expressoshow.com.
Be well. Love, food, life.
Welcome back. Your timing is perfect. We have Arno Carstens in the house. We are being treated to the alternative melodies, the passionate vocals of one of South Africa's original rock stars. He is awesome. He's also a lekker ook. Arno Carstens this morning is here to perform just for you. He's going to bring us some new music a little bit later in the show, but I'm so glad that he has chosen to open his account with a hit from 2003 that has got to be one of my all-time favorite songs. I'm fanboying. I've got goosebumps already, and you haven't even started, buddy. It's time for you to soak up another universe.
Let's take the farmer bow. Let's make the silent sign. Nobody needs to know where we off to. We're invisible alive. We're the whispers in the screen. We're not living in the West, and we're not coming from the East. Sharp is the knife, and alive is the night. I'm gonna slit the throat of the holy goat. Ceremony to the UFO. SMS and where we wanna go. Oh. From a galaxy of blues to a universe we choose. Ain't no more crying and just maybe somebody to hold. From a galaxy of blues to a universe we choose. Crying and just maybe somebody to hold. Hey! Slow. Leave the car on the highway and go. Nobody needs to know. Another universe. Make a difference between us and them. Lonely, lonely, never was again. On a world galaxy to explore. Don't return to a world at a war. From a galaxy of blue. So a universe we choose. And no more crying and just maybe somebody to hold. From a galaxy of blues to a universe we choose. Somebody to hold.
I'm dressed like the band. I just want to be in the band, man.
You are in the band.
But, you know, I would hold you. If there weren't social distancing, I would be that person you could hold. Arno Carstens is here with a phenomenal back.
I'm holding you right now.
Thank you so much. I'm giving you an emotional hug right now. You can let us know what you thought of that performance. Show this legend some love on our social media platforms. He'll be back for another 2 performances this morning. Right now, the news.
Beautiful stuff. Just after 7 o'clock, time for us to take a look at those news headlines. We start off here nationally in South Africa, where the Gauteng Health MEC, Nomathemba Mokgethi, says that the province's response to COVID-19 is on track, with the Nasrec Field Hospital now equipped to admit patients. Mokgethi, together with other health officials, visited the facility yesterday as Gauteng reached its peak. And meanwhile, the city of Cape Town has said that more people appeared to be complying with COVID-19 regulations in the metro. Infection rates were dropping in the region, but authorities remain on the high alert to ensure businesses and other entities adhere to the lockdown restrictions. President Cyril Ramaphosa yesterday confirmed that the country would receive its first shipment of COVID-19 vaccines from India very soon. New Delhi has allowed the commercial export of vaccines, and a shipment is expected to arrive any day now. The government signed a purchase agreement with the Serum Institute, which is the world's largest vaccine manufacturer, which has been bulk producing the Oxford AstraZeneca shot in India. 1 million doses should reach South Africa this week, and 500,000 doses will then be flown out, or rather into the country next month. In international headlines, President Joe Biden has repealed Donald Trump's ban on transgender Americans joining the military. It comes after new Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin, a retired Army general, spoke of the need to rescind the ban during his Senate confirmation hearing last week. He said anyone who is fit and qualified to serve and can maintain the standards should be allowed to join. He added that President Biden believed that gender identity should not be a bar to military service, and that America's strength is located in its diversity. A group of Cuban medics, including 5 doctors and 9 nurses, have arrived in Mozambique to help fight the COVID-19 pandemic. The country's health ministry said that they would be stationed in hospitals in the capital, Maputo, which is the epicenter of the pandemic in the country. In total, 45 Cuban healthcare professionals are expected to arrive in the country. A second group is expected to arrive in Maputo next week, and they will include 25 doctors and 6 nurses. Mozambique has so far reported 32,418 coronavirus cases and 305 deaths. And now news of President Biden's two four-legged friends. More and more Americans daily we're seeing are just loving the sight of first dogs in the White House again. President Joe Biden's 2 beloved German Shepherds, Champ and Major, have arrived in their new quarters, thereby restarting a long-held tradition of having pets in one of the world's best-known official residences. Donald Trump was the very first U.S. president in more than a century to not have had a pet, and Champ and Major immediately took to their new home, sniffing the place out with madly wagging tails. And the pooches have a huge fan base on social media. You can see their Twitter page, which is Porpoise, has tens of thousands of followers, and their recent Christmas video had more than 4 million views. A few days ago, they were pictured at the White House, Champ enjoying his new doggy bed close by a fireplace, and Major energetically romping on the South Lawn. And Biden was elected, of course, vice president in 2008, and Champ, then a puppy, has been with him since. So much love there. Major was fostered and then adopted in 2018 from the Delaware Humane Association. Americans are undoubtedly lapping up the idea of first dogs in the White House once more. That's where we leave it for now. Here's Graham with a look at what's happening in sport.
Thanks so much, T. Let's kick it off with Rugby Sevens news. Soon to be back in action, the Springbok Sevens squad will travel to Spain next month to participate in 2 tournaments hosted by the Spanish Rugby Union. This will be the first tournament arranged by World Rugby to help teams prepare for the upcoming Tokyo Olympics in July. Siviwe Soezwapi will lead the team for the first time since December of 2019. He'll be joined by some of our most experienced players, in fact, Branko de Preer and Chris Dry. Also included in the squad are JC Pretorius, Selwyn Davids, who were named in the World Series Dream Team last year. The 2 tournaments will be played on consecutive weekends from the 19th to the 21st and then the 26th to the 28th of February at the Campo UCM Central in Madrid, Spain. Staying with rugby news, onto the 15-man format, South African referee Jaco Paper will take charge of the Currie Cup final between the Bulls and the Sharks, of course, on Saturday. This will be Paper's 5th time reffing a Currie Cup final. He'll be assisted by AJ Jacobs, Griffin Colby and Marius van der Westhuizen as the TMO. The Currie Cup final will take place this Saturday at Loftus Versfeld. Kickoff is at 2 p.m. Now back onto local footballing action. The Nedbank Cup last 32 fixtures, venues and kickoff times for that opening round of competition have been announced by the Premier Soccer League. Glad Africa Championship sides Polokwane City and Steenberg United, they'll kick off proceedings. That's on Wednesday, the 3rd of February at 3 p.m. Then later that day, defending champions Mamelodi Sundowns will welcome Stellenbosch FC to Loftus. That's at 5 p.m. Then the last fixture will take place on Monday, the 8th of February between Baroka FC and Cape Town Spurs. Now, staying with news out of the footballing world, maybe not a shock to some, Chelsea have sacked their manager and former player Frank Lampard after 18 months in charge of the club. Lampard led the Blues to the FA Cup final and a 4th place finish in the English Premier League in his first season in charge of the club. The 42-year-old is said to be replaced by former Paris Saint-Germain boss Thomas Tuchel. And staying with the beautiful game, Jose Mourinho's Tottenham Hotspur, they thrashed Wycombe Wanderers 4-1 at Adams Park in the FA Cup to advance to the 5th round of the competition. Goals by Gareth Bale, Harry Winks and a brace by Tanguy Ndombele in the 87th and 93rd minute, confirming that win for Spurs. They'll next face Everton at Goodison Park in the 5th round of the FA Cup and, of course, have the mountain to climb in the form of Liverpool back in the English Premier League on Thursday night. And that's where we leave our sport for this hour. Let's take another look at some of your beautiful sunrise vistas and the weather.
We're back at it with your weather update to make sure that you get the best out of this morning and also so you prepare for the day ahead. We kick off with some of the sunrise submissions from our viewers, starting off with Katleho Dempa from Polokwane, who sent through the stunning image showing off these contrasting colors as the sun rises in the distance. Expect a maximum of 24 degrees in your area and widely separated thunder showers and an otherwise partly cloudy day for the area. Thank you to Ndogoza Theo Makatini from Johannesburg for sending through this beautiful image showing the sun trying to break through the cloud cover experienced in the area. A maximum of 23 degrees is forecast with scattered showers in the morning and in the afternoon. We thank you all for sharing your sunrise photos with us. Should you wish to be featured during the sunrise segment, it's very simple. All you need to do is head over to our Facebook page, Expresso Facebook page, to share how you wake up in your part of the country. Now, earlier on, we reported on how Tropical Storm Eloise has affected the Kruger National Park area and surrounding areas. But now Power Utility, Eskom, says it has not been affected by Cyclone Eloise. The tropical cyclone started off the coast of Mozambique before moving inland, affecting neighboring Zimbabwe as well as Limpopo, Mpumalanga and KwaZulu-Natal. The Power Utility, which gets some of its electricity from the Cabora Bassa Dam in Mozambique, says it will not it will continue to monitor developments. Meanwhile, the government is assessing the damage caused by Eloise. Areas in the Ehlanzeni region and the northeastern part of Mpumalanga appear to be the hardest hit. Many roads are flooded and at least 100 houses have been damaged. Communities are currently appealing for assistance. Those are truly some devastating news, and we keep all the families in those areas in our thoughts this morning. Now we get into a more extensive look at your temperatures, starting off at Polokwane. Thunder showers are forecast at 42% chance of rain. It's a rainy day in Mbombela, 55% chance of rain is forecast. Pretoria, your temperatures range from 16, reaching a high of 24. Be on the lookout for some thunder showers as well. And in Jozi Maboneng, do expect some wet conditions as well this Tuesday with a low of 15, reaching a high of 20. Mahikeng 1925 with 57% chance of rain. Klerksdorp 1927 with thunder showers forecast in the afternoon. And Kimberley 2028 with 51% chance of rain. Bloemfontein, you kick off the morning with a low of 17, reaching an afternoon high of 26. Richards Bay, it's a mostly sunny day with a maximum of 31 degrees. Pietermaritzburg, you start off the morning with a minimum of 19, reaching a maximum of 33 degrees. South Africa's Playground Durban 24-31. Mthatha 33 is your maximum from a low of 19. East London, your minimum for the day is 20, reaching a maximum of 28 degrees. Karaoke 17 with the highest temperature in the country, that's 36 degrees. And Port Elizabeth, your temperatures range from a low of 20, reaching a high of 26. If you find yourself in George, 17, 24 are your temperatures. And Cape Town, the mother city, it's been a scorching week. Your low is 17, reaching a high of 24. Worcester, the sun is out to play with a maximum of 34 degrees. And Sutherland, 11 is your low and your high is 32 degrees. Uppington, you start off the morning with a warm 21 degrees, reaching a humid 34 degrees, but do expect some thunder showers at 40% chance of rain forecast. This was the second look at your stunning sunrise pictures and the weather forecast for the day. We'll have another look in the final hour of the show. But right now, it's time for us to get in touch with you on our social media platforms. What's happening?
Thank you so much, Kukle. It's so awesome always seeing those beautiful sunrise pictures. You know Nature Boy loves it. Now, one thing I also love is chatting to Mzansi, but also the rest of the world. And we're chatting to everybody, all shapes and sizes. And YouTube comments have been coming through. And that's one of the platforms that we use here in our Expresso show and absolutely love. And who's come through with some comments?
I love you so much. So we have one from Ashley Reginald saying, I'm all the way from the West Coast, Vredenburg. Hi, Vredenburg. And the lesson I learned during the pandemic is to be safe at home and to be safe. Yeah, Ashley, we are all with you with being safe. How's this for this morning? Arno Carstens is literally just walking around, parading in front of the cameras, living his best life.
Oh man, it's such a positive piece of energy, I can tell you that. But guys, stick around, because later, if you are dealing with someone in your family that may have a COVID incident or is battling with a COVID issue, then we've got the doctor right here to give you all the advice that you need. Stick around.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
With the creamy decadence of double cream bliss from Clover, yogurt has never been so irresistible.
Made with love by Clover.
Welcome back to it, your feel-good breakfast show. It is Expresso live on SABC3. Now, it's time for you to treat your family with our mouth-watering Clover Bliss chocolate French toast. Oh, yes! Now, this irresistible twist on the French classic is easy to prepare. Yes, you're going to love that. It's also perfect as an indulgent breakfast, and everybody knows that we love an indulgent breakfast here on your feel-good breakfast show. If you're looking to make that last-minute pudding or even that midnight snack, you've come to the right place at the right time. And Chef Neil Anthony is in the house. house. In the house, my friend, to show us how to bring this to life. You are ready. You are so excited about it.
Very ready for this one. Love a bit of French toast.
Yes.
Or you can be fancy and call it pain perdu, which is the French word for it.
Pain perdu, I like that.
Obviously, very simple. Yet again, we like to keep it quite simple in here.
Okay, so what are you doing now?
We've got eggs here. Just some nice, beautiful, organic, free-range eggs.
Okay.
Pop a bit of yogurt in there as well, just to keep that whole theme going through it.
Love it.
We've got a beautiful raisin bread there. You can just use a plain bread if you want. You don't need to go too fancy on it, but then nice. A little bit of added sweetness from the raisin, and this has got a nice bit of sort of spiciness as well. Nice.
It does add a lot to
kick. Yeah. So a little bit of salt into our egg mixture as well. Some sugar into our egg mixture.
Yeah.
And a dash of cocoa powder just to sort of re-enhance that chocolate.
I'm already so interested. You've piqued my interest here because you've got the Clover Bliss double cream yogurt that you've thrown into the eggs. That's something I've never seen before. But we know that it is the perfect snack solution for those couch moments. So for when you really are about to indulge in a series or a movie, it really is the ultimate indulgence partner. You want to make sure that you have that around. And this time around, we are really giving it a twist. It does come in a range of flavors like hazelnut, strawberries, and cream, choc chip, plain, and lemon meringue. You really can't go wrong. There is something for whatever your taste buds are yearning for. Look at that.
Yet again, super
bread
easy,
going
super
in there.
simple bread. And you can sort of press the bread in a bit. You want that
soak up, right?
egg to get a nice sort of soak on it.
Yeah.
And also, don't drain it, fully. You want a bit of that egg mixture to stick to it.
Okay.
That goes into a nice warm pan with a little bit of butter.
Okay.
Boom, boom, we'll need 2 nice slices here.
What would the heat be like?
A nice medium heat. You just want that butter to sort of melt.
Okay.
You want a nice little, we have what's called a burn was that with a nice little bit of sort of brown butter going on there as well. It's never a bad thing.
Nice.
So yet again, we're going to cook those only for about sort of 30 seconds each side because we want to keep that bread nice and moist as well.
Chef, it smells so good.
That goes in.
Smells so good.
And then again, you can have this, like you said, midnight snack, breakfast. You can have it hot, you can have it cold. You can even go a slight little savory twist on it. You can grate a little bit of Parmesan onto there as well. That sort of sweet, salty combination is quite nice.
But it gives it a nice extra richness then as well.
Exactly, yeah.
You're adding cheese there. Can you imagine what that must be like?
Rock and roll, basically.
That is the indulgence
rock and roll,
extravaganza.
So yeah, and then again, like I said, you can use any type of bread you want, anything like that. Just play around with it. Classically, it's actually, old bread that you would use, like an old brioche or something like that.
Smart. So if you've got those slices of bread that honestly are left over that are just chilling around, maybe you've frozen the bread slices for a while. This is the perfect thing to, sort of do with those bread slices if you've got them chilling.
So they get nice and toasty in the pan.
Look at the final product. This is what it looks like, ready to be served. Who would say no to this? Can you imagine waking up in the morning and you've got Chef Neil Anthony
and there you go.
having prepared this, or maybe not even Neil Anthony, anyone in your household's prepared this for you. This looks really good. And then to end it off, you add your Clover Bliss double cream on there just to seal the deal.
That's what it's about.
Sure. Okay. If you want this recipe, go on our website, expressoshow.com. We've got the recipe with all the ingredients loaded and listed on there. I don't see a fork and a knife. I don't know if this is because you are trying to keep it from me.
I'll just take it with your hands, mate.
Well, I would say... No, I'm going to have
a
taste. Okay, I'm going to have a taste. I'll tell you now. I will tell you now. And I'll be honest with you, eh? I'll be honest with you.
Please do. Crispy, soft. Beautiful.
This is marvelous. I couldn't ask for a better
This is the rock and roll breakfast for the rock and roll band in the house.
No, but for real, this is it. A rock and roll breakfast. Get the recipe on expressoshow.com. Let us know what you think of it. Take pictures. Maybe you'll make it now. Take pictures and share them with us on our Facebook page, Expresso Morning Show SABC3. We will see you after this.
Made with love by Clover. Only you can make my day.
decadence of double cream bliss from Clover. Yogurt has never been so irresistible.
Made with love by Clover. It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back, everybody. This is your Feel Good Breakfast Show right here on SABC3. Time to find out what's happening on the social media streets. Now, what do you get when you take US Senator Bernie Sanders huddled up in a chair, socially distanced, of course, at Joe Biden's inauguration? Well, countless memes worldwide. Now, this, of course, sparked thousands of memes on social media and even saw celebrities get in on all of the fun. And we had to have our top 5 countdown to join in on this fun because it was the funniest thing ever seeing these memes come out. People were just getting so like...
It's so crazy, but I think it's so cool that everybody around the world got involved. And I mean, like you said, we've put a top 5 list together. And I love this one, which I want to present first. It's one of my boys here. It's Yasin Barnes coming through. And he shared this epic meme which you want to check out. Bernie met mense and Bernie sonder.
I'm going to need you guys to translate for me, please.
So it's basically Bernie without... With people and Bernie Sonder, because his name is Bernie.
Oh,
like Bernie Sanders.
Oh, is Sonder alone? Oh, I see. That's hilarious. That is a good one. That is a good one. We have another one from mommy blogger herself, Oluwetule Shabane. She shared hers on social media. She's always vacationing this one. She's always serving us content.
Is that actually Bernie himself?
It's that
She's like, he's just there with social distancing, wearing masks.
Minding each other, living our lives, chilling. I love it.
It is what it is. We have another one from, of course, big singer Janet Jackson coming through.
Ooh,
with hers. Look at this one.
Oh, wow. Oh, legend. Oh.
That's hilarious. I wonder what he says when he sees these memes.
Actually, I saw an interview of him speaking about this, and he was like, he can't believe he became a meme overnight. And what he's actually done now is taken these memes, put it on a T-shirt, and all the funds goes towards a charity. So,
wow. I love that.
So cool.
Just thinking out of the box with this one.
Yes,
oh, that is awesome. We've got another one coming in here from our local funny man, and that's Donovan Goliath, chilling in what looks like a taxi with
I wonder
Bernie.
what he's thinking. He's sitting in the front row, okay, number 1. And number 2, there's someone saying, money hasn't passed this money forward. He's probably like, I'm DZ, I'm not coming. No, I'm Kutisi Mali. Again, leave me alone. But that's the worst, though, when you're sitting in the front row of a taxi and everyone just brings your money to you and you have to do calculations. I'm going to be a Bernie.
Obviously, lastly, we had to get in on the fun, and our social media guru, Mike Wright, obviously did his own version of this one. Check our one out, everybody. Bernie Sanders has made it to the Expresso stage.
That's a winner. That's a winner.
In fact, I'm going to allow Ryle to replicate that picture. Let me
we're gonna put, okay, look, I feel you. Let's do this. So it looks like a bit of a grumpy face, right?
Yes.
Okay.
He's just
Grumpy face.
minding your business.
I got my mittens on.
Yes.
It's for the arms.
Just like that.
Just like that.
Absolutely.
Nailed it.
You nailed it. The Bernie Sanders.
Absolutely. Of course, you too can share your memes with us on our social media pages, Expresso Morning Show, SABC3. Maybe be like Raul, maybe be like Bernie Sanders. We'd love to connect with you.
So Arno Carstens and the lads are hard at work preparing their next performance. So good to have you here. Again, thank you so much for Another Universe, one of my absolute favorites. You are on, you are live, you are ready to rock out. Well, almost. We're going to be treated to a beautiful dressed-down version of a song that was released in 2016 that is going to make you find the person that you love the most in the world and hold them close and cuddle them as tight as you possibly can. This is a beautiful song and it's going to hit you right in the feels. It's Choopstil.
Choopstil, ek het jou aan my hoek, wil jy dans op die maat, op die ritme van die straat. Kom lê hier by my vanaand, Choopstil, Choopstil. Kom lê hier by my vanaand, Choopstil, Choopstil. Een kragopwekker onder my vlerkestof, twee turbo engine as my hart verdof, drie jy kry 'n skuilnaam aan vanaand raak rof, ons is karsie, ons is karsie. Kom lê hier by my vanaand, Choopstil, Choopstil. Lê hier by my vanaand, Choopstil, Choopstil. As jy verstik in plastiek sakvure, kom hier, en in die verkeer die aftog blaas, kom hier, vind jy jouself omring met diere, Choopstil, ontevrede, in die begin was daar niks, jou gesig is die nacht. Kom lê hier by my vanaand, Choopstil, Choopstil. Kom lê hier by my vanaand, Choopstil, Choopstil. 365, 24 uur, alles op die tyd is 'n kondisie.
Thank you. So we know the vocal is obviously unmistakable, and I mean, I love it when you go into that kind of that nude girl's high place that takes us to that memory. I absolutely love that. But I don't think we put enough stock in your unbelievable writing, dude. You're like a poet. This was off your first Afrikaans album, if I'm correct. Do you prefer writing in Afrikaans or English? Which is easier?
Both, and both is different as well. The one is more kind of Afrikaans. You can't hide away. You got to write good lyrics, and you just can't hide away. Where English is a very melodical language, and you can basically just and afterwards you can make up the lyrics.
A little bit later, you're going to be, don't laugh at him, man, because they know it's true. That's why they're laughing.
Stop, what's this?
Because they've seen him do it live on the show. You've got a new single out, and you're going to be performing that a little bit later. Go Easy Love. You're hitting us in the fields today. You're kind of making me miss my girl a lot. Go Easy Love, what's the premise there?
Go Easy Love is a song for lockdown, which kind of happened in lockdown. We brought it out last year, and I found out that so many people were getting divorced, and this song is just saying, go easy, love. Just before you get a divorce, just chill out and take things in your stride.
Yes, you know, a lot of people have just gone, what? Okay. Hopefully they'll be listening. We'll certainly be listening.
Ignore him.
Just ignoring. No, don't. Take it to heart. Gentlemen, thank you so much. That was a magical performance. We absolutely love having you here. We are so honored to have Arno Carstens in the house. Stick around. He will be back a little bit later with his brand new single, Go Easy Love.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back to it, your feel-good breakfast show. It is Expresso. We're live on SABC3. So much feel-good this morning, and hopefully that's coming through on your TV screens. Thank you very much for welcoming us into your living room. So we asked this very important question. I think it's an important question.
I think it is. We were asking everybody, what is the most unusual thing you've ever had in your handbag? Tubbs, you're quite a stylish man. Do you ever carry, like, I know not a handbag, but do you have any like man bag kind of things that you style with?
Sometimes we'll have like a nice little sling bag, but it's really tiny, and there isn't ever anything unexpected inside that.
Just lots of money.
Well, I wouldn't say lots of money. I mean, just my cell phone and car keys. That's the only thing. What do you put in your handbag?
You're boring. Nah, I've just got protein and a Speedo. All the essentials in life.
You've got a huge handbag, right? But listen, let's take a look at the comments that you have gotten through. Bapela Patience says that number 13 spanner. Huh? I took it from my toolbox. For what reason? I don't know. Batung Patience spanere.
In a defense, a 13 spanner is probably the most common size, so...
And that's fine, but what is it doing in a handbag?
No idea.
Oh, wow. Samantha Tricia Thompson says, my youngest hid his piece of pizza. Listen to this. You're going to love this one. Hid his slice of pizza in my handbag and saw it the next day at work. I mean, can you imagine? And obviously it's not wrapped, I'm
I
guessing.
think it's cool. It's like just giving mom a little treat for the next day. That's very kind.
That's a good question. In fact, did you eat the pizza when you found it the next day? And then we got another one from Tish in the city. And this comment says, or Sesh in the city, rather, from Sesha, says, masala and chili powder in your handbag.
That's like a self-defense.
You're my queen.
Defense device, like just woof.
That powder. Like, who needs pepper spray? Who needs it?
So I've got some coming through now. I've got Ellen and Tite who says, the strangest thing I had in my bag was bones for my dog. I forgot to give the bones to the dog and carried them with me for a week. Wow, I wonder if any prophecies came through.
I was going to say that, you know, Sangoma callings find their way in interesting ways. That was very interesting.
And then the last two here, we've got Nomfundo saying a screwdriver and a pair of extra shoes, just in case something happens to the ones I'm wearing. And then Linda Naidu says, good morning, of course. And the craziest thing she found was my son's pet snake. Wow. What would you do? What would you do?
Oh, my word. I mean, I'm sorry. I didn't expect these kind of responses. First of all, Nomfundo and Patience and the spanners and the screwdrivers, that is insane. But a pet snake, you've taken it to a whole new level. Wow.
Well, let's
let us know.
Catch up with the ladies, of course, because they've got something special when it comes to handbags and knocks and kukle. We're going to check it out.
A snake. In the taxi, you open in the taxi.
Listen, there are so many things to speak about when it comes to handbags, okay? Handbags speak louder than words. They come in different sizes, colors, textures, and even kilograms. And when we say secure the bag, we mean secure that bag, okay? It needs to be heavy. Our fashion and beauty editor, Nox Muff, is back with a bang to take us through the must-have essentials that every woman should have in her bag this year. Nox, before we get into what we need to have in our bags, I'm going to ask you what we're asking our viewers on social media. What's the weirdest thing you have in your handbag?
Wow, because times have changed. My bag is now a crazy jungle. But actually what I always have is clear nail polish.
Ooh.
And that's always just for something ready. So I always have clear nail polish in my bag and nail clippers. I'm like, just in case something happens, guys, nails will go crazy. So I always
need to quickly.
So if you ask it, plaster, plaster, clear nail polish, and that you'll probably find. Those are my weirdest things.
Yeah, okay, no, I get it. I've never heard of nail clipper, but I think it's a good one actually. And the clear nail polish, I like where you're going with this.
Run. I've got a trick for that.
Yes.
Oh, girl, I got you.
You see, you got us even more because you're about to tell us which essentials we need to have in our bags. E-bags come in different shapes and sizes, as we've mentioned, from a sling bag to a string to a chunk or whatever it is, or different patterns as well. Snake print.
All of.
All of them, Jay. What are the trends when it comes to handbags this season?
Well, I think fashion is a joy right now because I think you can really make anything happen depending on the look and feel that you're going for.
Yes.
But I think the big thing that we've seen over like the last summer and into here is really that kind of mini handbag, which I mean, I don't know if people... I have one which I always say, it's like about this small.
Yes.
And I still lose things in there, but a really small like fun bag. So the micro bag has been really popular. The sling bag, obviously, just for, you know, your everyday things. But then, of course, the big, boxy, chunky bags, sort of like a travel bag, if you would. But really, those are great if you want to put a divider inside. Very good for essentials like these that will run through. Because we are carrying so much in our bags now, we're always on the move. You want to have a bag that can really help you, and organization is key in that handbag. Because when when you're paying for a ticket and you can't find your keys and you can't find
your wallet, you can't find your phone, it's just swallowed by everything. I absolutely agree with you. I also have those mini bags, and they are the cutest things. And funny enough, they fit so much inside.
So much. Your house, your keys, your car,
everything.
All in there. Yes.
Now, take us through what Woolworths has in store for us. What we need in our bags from Woolies.
Yeah, well, I think let's start maybe with the makeup stuff, because I think it's really important. If we're on the move, you're probably going to be powdering up during the day. And so what I love about this pressed powder, which we have from W Beauty, is that it's great for kind of a matte, long-lasting look. It comes, of course, with its great, device to put it on, and a lovely just way that you can kind of carry it through. And then, of course, if you want that richly pigmented and mineralized eye look that's defined, and also that's not going to actually get that crease. This is a really great eyeshadow palette to try. I love it. I kind of keep it in my bag, and just a little bit of a dab of a finger, and you've got... a very good look on there. Obviously, if you want to enunciate your cheeks over here while you're on the move, just a quick touch up under that mask. I love the powder blush that's there. But of course, you know, you want to smell good.
Oh,
We're
yes.
using hand sanitizer, so I always suggest that you try, you know, the long market range. They've always got great hand and nail cream and stuff. And then the travel size 15mm W Beauty Fleur range, which, I mean, we've spoken about it at length last year. But I love the travel size ones, so great for a handbag essential.
Absolutely, the hand sanitizers as well, and cleansing wipes, please, for
It's
everywhere we
important.
go.
It's important. Things have changed quickly, as you know. So it's important to always just have your wipes there. 70% alcohol in those sanitizers to make sure that you are always, you know, healthy and safe, which is most important.
Knox Mafu, may I try to use that hand sanitizer? I want to see.
Of course.
Because you know, when it comes to hand sanitizers, there's the gel one, there's kind of the spirit one.
So this is a marine fresh one, and I love this because it's derma tested, and we can try this. It's a beautifully kind of water-based one, so it won't irritate the skin too much.
Not at all.
Exactly. So I love the way that it kind of moves in, and it also moisturizes skin for a bit. But of course, if you want that extra moisture, I would always pair that up with a long market hand and nail cream. So really, these go well together. And of course, if you do want wipes, these are great for your face, your hands, and also the rest of your body. So a multi-purpose thing is always great. So keep these in your bag also to make sure you're healthy.
I just have to say that this hand sanitizer smells divine, and I can also feel that my hands are being moisturized a little bit. But if you want to get that extra punch, a hand cream will never say no to a hand cream.
Yes, honey.
Knox Mafu, you came through looking oh so stunning to elevate what our handbags need to have inside of them. Always a pleasure to have you on the show. Well, there you have it. Keep your bag light and your shoulder intact by filling your handbag with only the essential items. You can buy all your handbag essentials at Woolworths, in-store, online, and on the Woolies app. But now, from sorting out the bags ahead of work to sorting out the kids ahead of school.
Yes, indeed. Filling that school bag, if you will. Oprah Winfrey said it best when she said, education is the key to unlocking the world, a passport to freedom. I absolutely love that. And Nedbank are helping you make sure that your child can get a head start going into, yes, we know, a delayed restart to school, but we want to get you prepped.
Absolutely, and you can save 10% in-store on the widest range of quality school supplies at Walton's when using your Nedbank credit card. Plus, you can also enjoy up to 55 days of interest-free credit. Sounds good, sounds like music to our ears.
That interests me the most, especially considering all of the financial pressures that lockdown has brought about, from scissors to markers, all things scholastic. You will find what you need.
Absolutely. Now, all you have to do is use that voucher code, which is NEDWTNS08, to get your discount with your credit card. Now, the offer is valid until the 31st of January 2021. Remember, those T's and C's do apply, and you can find out more about this on nedbank.co.za.
So hashtag here's to you, Mzansi, for being A-list, A-student parents out there. Let's give your kids the head start that they need.
Thank you so much, G. And of course, I think it's so important for all our kids indeed to get all the good stuff in. Now, moving over to a little bit of a shaky subject, a cold one perhaps. Now, Cyclone Eloise, which you've heard about, made landfall in Mozambique around 2:30 a.m. on Saturday morning. Now, leaving in its wake a trail of devastation and flooding. And since then, it's made its way to South Africa and has started to wreak havoc in Limpopo with several roads and bridges which have been flooded. So to give us the latest breakdown in this developing story, we've actually reached out to Kgolo Mahlangu, who is from the SA Weather Service, on the line. Makgola, how are you doing this morning?
Good morning. Thank you so much for having me.
It's so good to chat to you. Firstly, I want to make sure, are you safe? Are you all good out of the storm's way?
Currently we are safe here in Gauteng, especially there isn't anything significant to expect from the storm. However, there's still some storms, or rather showers and thunder showers, expected here and there over the eastern parts of the country. We are still expecting some localized flooding in places over the parts of Limpopo, and also some flooding to be expected over the western parts of the Northwest Province, spreading into the central parts of the Free State Province. That storm is currently sitting over the southern parts of Botswana, and that's what's going to bring about the flooding today.
All right, so I would imagine that this would mean that, I believe the way they call it is, it's been downgraded to an overland depression, if that's correct, right? So what exactly does this mean, and what sort of conditions can we expect? I mean, you're mentioning various flooding in these areas, but what does that mean exactly for the guys that don't know?
For it to be downgraded into an overland depression, it means that it had weakened in strength in the past 24 hours. From the moment it, tracked into Mozambique, moving all the way westwards. As it does that, it loses its strength. The wind speeds lose intensity. So we're talking about wind speeds starting at about 160 kilometers per hour when it was still a cyclone. And now that is a tropical, overland depression, the wind speeds are somewhat below 60 kilometers per hour. And the last report had reported about 60 kilometers per hour over Botswana, the southern parts of Botswana.
Wow, that is some interesting stuff indeed. I mean, I've been in 60 kilometer per hour winds, and that's already knocked me over. Now add another 100. I can't imagine what that must be like. But can you tell me more about the amount of rainfall that has kind of impacted in Mpumalanga, and what has this resulted in? I mean, we're seeing all these crazy visuals, but from your side, what does it actually mean?
From yesterday's reports, we saw rainfall amounts above 100 millimeters of rainfall in places like Komati Terai, Nelspruit, and Skukuza Kruger National Park. So those resulted in some significant damage. Really, roads collapsed, bridges. We're talking about trees being uprooted, people's homes being damaged, and cars floating, and causing disruptions in municipal services as well in places. So Mpumalanga, Limpopo, and the northeastern parts of KZN were badly affected Sunday, going into yesterday, Monday. Today, we're still looking at some significant, falls over some parts of Limpopo, and they should also try be cautious around flooded roads and flooded rivers, and try by all means to stay away from that if possible.
Wow. Well, Kholo, thank you so much for all this information. And I know a lot of Mzansi might be a little bit anxious and scared about this, but looking to the next few days, what does the SA Weather Service anticipate regarding the behavior of Eloise, and what should the public maybe kind of be prepared for?
Eloise is tracking westwards. That's what tropical systems do. So they track from east to west, and today it's sitting just above the border of the North Province in Botswana. So by tomorrow, it should be somewhat around Namibia. And as it tracks westwards, it will lose its intensity. And at the moment, we don't have any warnings for other parts of South Africa except for possible flooding over the northwest and the Free State. But then moving forward, we should just expect normal afternoon summer thunderstorms that we usually get over the country. So we're looking at thunderstorms coming through in the afternoon after 2 p.m. in most parts there in the east and also the central parts of the country.
Well, Mzansi, we can rest easy, of course. It sounds like Northwest might be taking in a bit of a hit for the rest of the country. Looks like things are getting better, and we might have weathered the storm. And there's no doubt exceptional weather conditions that have hit the country's northern areas are exactly that. And we're sending our thoughts to all those that are affected by this current situation. And also, again, Kholo, I want to thank you so much for sharing your wisdom with us and making us feel a little bit safer, knowing that the information we have is actually correct.
It's only my pleasure. Thank you.
Have a beautiful day. And the rest of Mzansi, we're urging you all in the areas that are being affected to stay indoors and, of course, stay safe.
Here's to you. Can't work from home workers. Bo Terminator. 'Cause every meeting, I'll be back. The mask forgetting shoppers. Hi. And you, who go the extra mile instead of keeping just 1.5 meters. To you who opened your doors again, we take our hats off. Nina, who kept us moving, 100%. And of course, there no mayini general dealers. You might not be essential workers, Mara, you too played an essential role in keeping Mzansi working. And that's why we're giving you a chance to win your share of 5 million rand. Join Nedbank today.
Are you ready for a sizzling summer holiday in Mzansi? Your best holiday is yet to come when you book at any participating Marriott-branded hotel. Redefine your holiday with a beach break, nature retreat, or a road trip adventure. With the Marriott Summer Holiday offer, you can enjoy 25% off standard hotel rates, including free breakfast if you're a Marriott Bonvoy member and 15% if you're a non-Bonvoy member. Book on Marriott.com for the best rates guaranteed.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back. Now, it's been almost a year since the first case of COVID-19 was reported in this country. Almost a year of living in lockdown and adhering to precautions to keep us from contracting the virus and, of course, very importantly, infecting others. But what do you do when someone you live with is sick and you think it's COVID-19? They need your help, but you obviously don't want to get sick as well or pass the virus on to others. Well, Dr. Lerato Masimola, a family medical doctor and founder of the Tari Health medical practice in Johannesburg, now joins us to share her expert advice. A very good morning, doctor. How are you?
I'm good, thanks, and yourself?
Good, thank you.
Doctor, people get up to so much during the day. We have work, meetings, lunches, or even grocery runs. And then we return home to our families or flatmates or whatever the situation is. The first thing that we do is take off our masks. But even then, that's also a little bit risky because we never really know what we've touched or where we've been. Then how do we get to, a point where what do we do when we start showing symptoms or even a loved one starts showing symptoms?
It's actually not very straightforward. It can be very tricky. I mean, we hardly think of going to the shops as very risky. So if possible, you yourself or the person who you think is infected, you need to just basically assess your level of risk, any contact of any form, even if it's just going to the shops once a week. So if you think you have been exposed, no matter how small the chance is, or there is a strong suspicion of infection due to the appearance of or escalation of symptoms, then it's best to contact your doctor and get tested, either at their practice or the lab they send you to, or contact the government channels where you can be directed to go and test for free if you don't have the resources to pay for your test. And while waiting for results, it's very important that nobody then leaves the house. If you suspect somebody in the house has COVID or yourself, then you can't carry on with life while you're waiting for a test. If you're not going to go the testing route, you should stay away from people. That's first and foremost, so that you avoid spreading the infection again to other people.
All right, so let's take it a step.
When you're in the house, if you can, isolate from other people in the home if it's just one person who's suspected of having the infection.
All right, so let's take it a step further. In the instance where a family member has actually tested positive, what are those key safety measures that we should implement immediately?
It can be so tricky. Our home situations are different. If it's somebody who can, is it somebody who can look after themselves? Like, is it an adult, an independent adult? I mean, if it's a child or an elderly who needs assistance, you can't abandon those people in the house and say, you go sit in this corner and, you've got COVID and therefore, you can't interact with us. So we just have to basically take your situation into account. Is there enough space to isolate, or will the whole family have to isolate with the sick person from the rest of everybody else? So in an ideal setting, there's a place where a person can be in the house, either an outside cottage or their own bedroom, right? And then they have their own bathroom also. But if you have to share toilets and bathrooms, the person who has symptoms, or the person who has symptoms maybe is a mom and needs to cook for the family or for the kids, there's no other adult in the house, then there is going to be the time when there's shared spaces, right? So washing of hands with soap and water becomes very, very important. If you do have a separate space you're going to be in, leaving your space sanitized so that when you touch door handles, you don't contaminate them. And when you get to a place where you can wash your hands, like at the basin or at the sink, the first thing you do is that. And if you touch any surfaces, just be cognizant of the fact that you must go back and wipe the surfaces. And the sick person should avoid also coughing into hands. You must cough into your elbow. Avoid coughing into hands and touching surfaces. The main thing is that this disease mainly spreads by touching things and people touching those things back. And then the droplet spreads, obviously. So open your windows if you're in the room. If people must come in and help you clean up or bathe you or etc. So allow as much air as possible into the room. If you going to be at home alone and people are going to work and then you touch the TV remote, best thing to do is to cling wrap that, because it's easy to wipe over the plastics than to get into between the buttons to clean, right? So it's easier to sanitize if it's wrapped in cling wrap. And the one other thing is that you can share the food in the house. Somebody goes to cook and then you put into separate plates, obviously. You don't have to go buy disposables or let this person have their own special crockery. The minute somebody finishes eating, they walk into the sink and places their things and go back into the isolation. Or if you're fetching because they're in bed, you run the water into the sink with soap and water, with soap and maybe some bleach. When you fetch the plates, put them straight into the sink with your hands and then you wash everything. Water with soap kills germs. It's been doing it for years. So don't now feel like you need to go buy special crockery for the person and ostracize them and make them feel like they're dirty. And the mom can cook for the kids, or the adult in the house who must cook. They can cook for the kids or for the family. Because when we cook, we're not spitting into the pots, guys. So you just need to be realistic and be logical about it and keep sanitizers in every room for quick use. When you can't get to the basin and wash your hands with soap and water. I can't stress enough soap and water. Soap and water is number one. Sanitizers are the backup.
Okay.
Thank you so much for touching on the fact that, people have different living situations and offering ways in which they can physically and emotionally give support to a loved one who may be suffering from COVID-19. But I want to take it a step further and look into the sort of diet that they're meant to be eating during this time to boost their immune system, because in that stage, the immune system is being attacked.
Seriously compromised,
Yeah. So first of all, do eat. People complain of loss of smell and taste and then also loss of appetite, and then they ignore eating. Being sick can just lead to a general aversion to wanting to do things. If your arms ache, you don't want to eat, you don't want to chew, your face is sore. It feels like a chore. So please eat so that you can keep up your body filled up so that you can fight the infection. Secondly, please drink water. Water is essential for life, so keep hydrated. You can lose a lot of water from just sweating, with or without a fever, from the diarrhea and vomiting, and from breathing fast when you have chest symptoms. Your water supports nutrients transport and your medication transportation. It gets rid of waste from all the stuff that you break down while you're feverish and stuff like that. So you must drink at least about 2 to 3 liters of water per day. Eat as healthy as you can. Eat as clean as you can. Less processed food, less junk, less foods that are high in salt and sugar. If you can just partially cook your vegetables, the more raw, the better, to help detox the body. Remember, you're very sick. You've got viral particles breaking down. You need to get out of the body. Your body is breaking down other things to make energy for you. So you need to eat and keep up. You expend a lot of energy when you're sick with an illness this quite bad, So you need to eat, you need to drink lots of water and avoid wanting to eat out. because one is junk food and two, you will infect other people. Even if there's one person in the house and the family feels like they must go out, it's not advisable to do that. So rather cook your food, you know what's going into it, more fruits and vegetables, some protein if you eat animal protein, otherwise find other sources of protein. It's very important to keep the body strong to help it fight the disease.
Doctor, thank you so much. Simple yet effective, some brilliant advice. Thank you so much. You can find her at Tari Health if you want to pose some more questions, but we'll continue our discussions around COVID-19. Dr. Emil Reed is in studio. We'll do that after the news.
Hugely insightful. Thank you very much, Doctor. Thank you very much, G-Man, as well as Kuhle. Time for us to take a final look at those news headlines here on your Feel Good Breakfast show. We start off nationally, where an Eastern Cape tavern boss, allegedly selling alcohol illegally, was arrested by police, and liquor to the value of some 5 million rand was confiscated. He appeared in the Butterworth Magistrates Court yesterday alongside 2 co-accused for violating the Disaster Management Act. The men, aged between 27 and 45, were arrested for contravening regulations under the adjusted Level 3 lockdown. Police said that the arrests came during an intelligence-led campaign which included detectives and visible policing. The Gauteng Health MEC Nomathemba Mokgethi says the province's response to COVID-19 is on track, with the Nasrec Field Hospital now equipped to admit patients. Mokgethi, together with other health officials, visited the facility yesterday as Gauteng reached its peak. Meanwhile, the city of Cape Town has said more people appeared to be complying with COVID-19 regulations in the metro. Infection rates were dropping in the region, but authorities remain on the high alert to ensure businesses and other entities adhere to the lockdown restrictions. In international news, the Ugandan High Court in Kampala yesterday ordered the military and police to leave the home of opposition politician Bobi Wine. Wine has not left his house on the outskirts of the capital, Kampala, since voting in the presidential election 11 days ago, in which he was declared runner-up to President Yoweri Museveni. The state has argued that it needed to prevent him organizing protests. The army said it would respect the ruling, but has yet to withdraw its troops or nearby roadblocks. President Joe Biden has repealed Donald Trump's ban on transgender Americans joining the military. It comes after new Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin, a retired Army general, spoke of the need to rescind the ban during his Senate confirmation hearing last week. He said anyone who was fit and qualified to serve and could maintain standards should be allowed to join. He added that President Biden believed that gender identity should not constitute a hindrance to military service and that America's strength is located in its diversity. And now news concerning the first giant panda to be born in South Korea. A video of 6-month-old giant panda Fu Bao clinging to her zookeeper's leg has gone viral with more than 4 million views on YouTube. Lots of views after she had her weight checked by the zookeeper. She clung to his leg, refusing to let go. And Fu Bao, which means lucky treasure, is the first panda to be born in South Korea. Her parents, A Bao and Le Bao, arrived there in 2016 as part of China's panda diplomacy program and symbol of the cordial relationship between the two countries. Fu Bao is supposed to return to China after some 4 years to 5 years, of course, which is the duration it usually takes for young pandas to separate from their parents. And earlier, K-pop band Blackpink had sparked outrage in China after videos were circulated showing band members as non-professionals handling and cuddling Fu Bao. But can one blame them? Let's be honest. I mean, look at those pandas. And Fu Bao is so cute that one just can't help but panda to her needs. That's the final look at the news. A final look now at what's happening in the world of sports with Graham.
Thanks so much, Tabiso. We start with a Sevens update. The Springbok Sevens squad will travel to Spain next month to participate in 2 tournaments hosted by the Spanish Rugby Union. This will be the first tournament arranged by World Rugby to help teams prepare for the Tokyo Olympics in July. Siviwe Soezwapi will lead the team for the first time since December of 2019. And he'll be joined by 2 of the most experienced players in the squad, Branko de Prea and Chris Dry. Also included in the squad are JC Pretorius and Selvin Davids, who are named in the World Series Dream Team last year. The two tournaments will be played on consecutive weekends from the 19th to the 21st and then the 26th to the 28th of February at the Campo UCM Central in Madrid in Spain. On to the 15-man game. South African referee Jaco Paper will take charge of the Currie Cup final between, of course, the Bulls and the Sharks on Saturday. This will be Paper's 5th time reffing a Currie Cup final. He'll be assisted by AJ Jacobs, Griffin Colby and Marius van der Westhuizen as the TMO. The Currie Cup final will take place this Saturday at Loftus Versveld. Kickoff is at 2 p.m. Now on to local football news. The Nedbank Cup last 32 fixtures, venues and kickoff times for the opening round of the competition have been announced by the Premier Soccer League. Glad Africa Championship sides Polokwane City and Stenberg United. They'll kick off proceedings on Wednesday the 3rd of February at 3 p.m. Then later that day, defending champions Mamelodi Sundowns will welcome fellow Premier League outfit Stellenbosch FC to Loftus Versveld at 5 p.m. The last fixture will take place on Monday the 8th of February between Baroka FC and Cape Town Spurs. Now, a little further afield, maybe not a shock to some, but the news broke yesterday. Chelsea have sacked their manager and former player, Frank Lampard, after 18 months in charge of the club. Lampard led the Blues to the FA Cup final and a 4th-place finish in the English Premier League in his first season in charge of the club, but has been struggling in this latest season. 42-year-old is said to be replaced by former Paris Saint-Germain boss, Thomas Tuchel. And then on to footballing action that did take place last night. Jose Mourinho's Tottenham Hotspur, they thrashed Wycombe Wanderers 4-1 at the Adams Park in the FA Cup to advance to the 5th round of the competition. Goals by Gareth Bale, Harry Winks and a brace by Tanguy Ndombele in the 87th and 93rd minute, confirming the win for Spurs. In the Cup, they'll now face Everton at Goodison Park in their 5th round, and of course this week have a mountain to climb in the form of Liverpool. That's in the Premier League on Thursday evening. That's a wrap of your sport for this morning. Let's take one last look at some of your beautiful sunrise pictures.
We are wrapping up this morning's weather segment by recapping our sunrise contributions. Pat Sunkel started the morning off with this beautifully framed photo showing off her view over Durban. General Archibald Taylor showed the sunrise in the distance in Bloemfontein. Katlego Tempa from Polokwane took this picturesque image of the sun rising. And last but not least, Nogozo Theo Makatini sent this photo of the sun peeking through the cloud cover in Johannesburg. Thank you all for taking the time to share your sunrise pictures with us on our social media platforms. If you too would like to be featured on our sunrise segment, simply head over to Expresso Facebook page to share your photo. We would love to see how you start off your mornings. Parts of the Kruger National Park have been flooded as a result of Tropical Storm Eloise, with some bridges now underwater. Some of the bush camps that the park evacuated on Friday are now also submerged. And the park is bracing for yet another heavy rainfall this Tuesday. Sunday night severe rain resulted in the Sabi River rising substantially, resulting in low water bridges in the area being submerged. And management at the park urged motorists to be extra cautious when traveling in the area. Amazingly, animals in the park moved to higher ground when they realized a storm was coming. Meanwhile, in Gauteng, disaster management teams are on standby to help with any situation locally and have offered assistance to other provinces. Let's have the final look at your temperatures. If you find yourself at Polokwane, you start off your morning with a low of 19, reaching a high of 24 degrees. Mbombela, it's a rainy day, 55% chance of rain is forecast. Pretoria, your minimum is 16, reaching a maximum of 24 degrees. Jozi Maboneng, do expect some wet conditions this Tuesday with a minimum of 15, reaching an afternoon maximum of 23 degrees. Mahikeng, a 57% chance of thunder showers in your part of the country. Klerksdorp, do not leave your umbrellas behind and please be safe on the roads if you are driving to work, because 60% thunder showers are forecast this Tuesday. Kimberley, mostly sunny for you with a maximum of 28 degrees. Do expect some showers as well. Bloemfontein, your temperatures range from 17 reaching a high of 26. Richards Bay, it's a mostly sunny day with a maximum of 31. Pietermaritzburg, your temperatures peak at 33 from a low of 19 degrees. South Africa's playground Durban kicks off this Tuesday with a low of 22, peaking at 31 degrees. Down to the Eastern Cape, Mthatha 19, 33. It's a sunny day in Mondi, East London, with a maximum of 28 degrees. In Cradock, coming through with the highest temperature in the country, a maximum of 36 from a low of 17 degrees. Port Elizabeth, the friendly city, 20-26. George, 17-24. And the mother city, Cape Town, 17, starts off your morning and you end it off with a maximum of 24 degrees. Worcester, 13-34. Sutherland, 11-32. And lastly, definitely not least, Uppington, 21-34 with summer thunder showers at 40% a chance of rain forecast. This was the final look at your stunning sunrise pictures and the temperatures for the rest of our country. Whichever part of the country you're in, whatever the weather, have yourselves a feel-good kind of day, and it's time for us to elevate the feel-good vibrations.
Feel it, the feel-good vibrations are here, an exclusive everybody, a first look at a brand new single, Go Easy Love. Arno Carstens is still with us and he's here to take your Tuesday to a whole other level. Arno, take it away.
You like a techno song with no rules, a calm collect with no voice, magical magician with no tricks up your sleeve. I'm emotionless in your bliss. That's just no easy words, that's just no easy way, that's just no easy love. I'm in a high-tech war for your soul. You are the crux to the sentence of my heart. If I could openly display, I run away. It's how I feel about the dawning of another day. There's no easy words, and that's just no easy way. That's just no easy love. Oh, easy love. That's just no easy love. Go easy love. Send your great life. If it's ocean, well, no one can tell.
Welcome back. It's your Feel Good. It's Tuesday, and we are bringing you everything that involves magic. Now, although the novel coronavirus has been with us for months, many of us still remain unclear about certain aspects of the virus, like how it spreads and how we should be protecting ourselves. Now, in the best way, many of you have expressed your concerns on the virus and sent us your questions via social media, and our infectious diseases specialist, Dr. Emil Reed, joins us in the studio this morning to answer all of our questions. Doc, how are you doing this morning?
Morning, guys. Great to be here. We've been through a horrible time.
Yes.
Yeah. We've lost many friends, lost many loved ones, and chin up. We're getting there, and we're getting
It's
through
honestly such a difficult time right now, so it's a pleasure to have you on the show to kind of shed light on where we are as a country with regards to COVID-19. What are the latest statistics in South Africa, and how far are we with the vaccine?
Well, number one, a vaccine is our only way out of this infection. And that is important to understand. Without a vaccine, we're going to have a third wave, we're going to have a fourth wave, etc. At this moment in time, we're roughly sitting with 135,000 active cases, more than 40,000 deaths, and happy with the 87% recoveries that we have. What's worrying us is the fact that for the last year, we had more than 100,000 unaccounted deaths, or so-called excess deaths. And one is unsure how many of those excess deaths were actually due to COVID-19 as well.
All right, well, I've got to say it's really, again, it's an absolute honor to have you in the studio because we get to chat and engage with everybody, and we have so many questions coming in. So just another note to everybody that is out there, we have a number that you can call on our social media channels, which is 021-110-555-2, and you can ask us any questions that you do have relating to the COVID virus. And one of them is actually coming through right now. So Ryan Pramel actually had the question of, hi, my name's Ryan, and my question is, what is the composition of the COVID-19 virus? And maybe I can add to that because I feel like a lot of people are unsure about it, and what is it that's making this so deadly? I think that's what people are trying to ask, and I think Ryan would love to hear more about this.
Yes, the SARS-CoV-2 virus is what we call an RNA virus. And what makes it so unique, on the surface area of this particular virus are a few important proteins. The one is called the S, or the spike protein, the envelope protein, and the membrane protein. And the spike protein, probably the most important one. And that component of the virus is the piece that actually gets stuck to the so-called ACE receptors in our bodies, in our lungs, kidneys, gut, arteries, and cause infection. And also with a new variant that we had and was described recently, the 501Y.V2 variant is actually a mutation in that specific spike protein. And what it does, it actually makes the virus more transmissible, which means it can spread much more rapidly, it can spread much more easier, infect more people, therefore contributing to the massive amount of volumes we see at hospitals, and also hospitals being overwhelmed by this particular virus.
And Doc, just to maybe dumb it down for guys like me, so what it sounds like you're saying is there's literally, if I was to physically see the shape of the virus itself, that spike that's engaging and interacting is what's mutating, right?
Exactly.
Okay.
And as we said before, viruses mutate all the time. They are error-prone, but usually every now and again you get a mutation that is of significance and of great value. And that mutation was now with a current mutation or variant that we sit with that actually cause higher transmissibility. And we are currently looking at whether that mutation is not causing a more severe form of disease than described before.
Doctor, we have another question here regarding what you've just touched on, how it spreads. It comes from Gail. She says, I have one burning question about COVID-19 that nobody can give me a clear answer on. Is the COVID-19 virus airborne?
The answer to that is no. It is not airborne. And what happens, the virus is spread via droplet. And there's a huge difference between it being airborne, which means it can actually go anywhere or everywhere, whereas droplet spread can go a specific distance. Because if you cough, if you get physiotherapy and you cough, if you resuscitate somebody and you are in close proximity, even if you sing out loudly, you actually spread the virus. So it becomes a droplet, a very wet sort of droplet, and that droplet immediately, when in contact with air, becomes dehydrated, which means it can actually break up into smaller particles, therefore infecting the two of you sitting across from me. And usually that happens within hospital, that it becomes aerosolized and not airborne. So the virus is not airborne, it's spread via droplet spread. Hence the reason for us to advocate physical distance, which means that the virus actually falls to the ground or onto the surfaces in front of us.
Okay, that's really painting such an incredible picture. And one picture that I still think a lot of us are struggling to really come to terms with is, how do I know that I actually have COVID? And I know it sounds silly, but it's actually such a good question, because you have things like the flu still going on. We have things like, hay fever and cold. So when do I know that it's not that, and this is actually definitely the COVID virus or a COVID situation that I need to now resolve or sort out?
That is a fantastic question, because I think general practitioners and doctors that see patients on a daily basis gets confronted with these issues. The important thing to remember that the flu is also caused by a virus, and the same as with COVID, usually has an acute onset of fever, body aches, etc. And also important to note that flu we normally get through the autumn and also through the winter. So very unlikely that you will get flu during the summer and during the spring. And for people who actually got vaccinated against the flu during March and April last year, you could actually cancel out flu as a possible cause for their symptoms, because then only the other virus, which is SARS-CoV-2, is the one that is still around. With regards to allergies is normally a chronic illness, and all of us that had allergies before knows that there's certain allergens that we get in touch with that can actually trigger our allergies. We get itchy eyes, itchy nose, sneezing, etc. And then probably the most important thing that flu doesn't give you and that allergies doesn't give you is shortness of breath.
Dr. Emil Reed, we're just going to hold it there for a second. This is such an important conversation to have. He's still around here on your Feel Good Breakfast Show to answer your burning questions regarding the COVID-19 that we are all currently going through. Do not go anywhere.
Now, it's said that the darkest times often reveal our true colours, and communities in the Western Cape have recently been showing just how beautiful their true colours are after they created a campaign called #HospitalHeroes in partnership with Gift of the Givers, who we know very well on the show. Yes. This campaign is encouraging people to show their appreciation to our healthcare workers on the front lines by donating snack packages to their local hospitals. One of the campaign's founders, Kilona Radia, now joins us, as well as founder of Gift of the Givers, Dr. Imtiaz Suleiman, good friend of the show, to chat to us a bit more about what they are doing. Two incredible human beings, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you. Thank you, Philip.
This is really fantastic work that you are doing, Kilona, and of course, Dr. Suleiman. But let's start with you, Kilona. Tell us about what exactly it is that you are doing through #HospitalHeroes for our frontline workers. And what do you hope to achieve through this campaign or this initiative?
Great. So really, Hospital Heroes was born from the fact that a few of us recognize the fact that many of the hospital staff members are toiling hours and hours and hours without even any consideration for themselves, spending every minute of their day saving a life, trying to care for others, looking after families whose sick people are in, families are in hospital. And really, they don't have time for themselves to even grab a snack, to grab an energy bar. They go through 12 hours without, or 15-hour shifts without even thinking about themselves. And this was just a little something to say, hey, you know what? Here's something to nourish you and encourage you, to keep you going. And also, more importantly, to show that we as a community, we love and care for you, and we are here for you. We see the difficulties that you face on a minute-by-minute basis. And it's now we're coming on to a year that they've been doing this. So it's just a little recognition of the love and care that they're sharing with the rest of South Africa and all the patients that they see.
We know that the physical and the emotional toll has really set in now. I've got a lot of doctor friends that are operating in that space, and they've highlighted the fact that it really has been difficult. What has the response been like from those frontline workers?
You know, it's been incredible. We've done our first drop-off at Somerset Hospital on Friday, and it was profound to hear one of the nurses saying to me, she says, please don't say it's just a small little something. Please don't say it's just a bottle of water. You have no idea what it means to us, just that little bit. The fact that you've recognized us, that you see that we are struggling, that you see where we are and how we are feeling and what we need to sustain ourselves. So thank you, because they're in the depths of desperation at the moment and despair, and they're facing death all the time. So it's emotionally draining, not only physically, but emotionally too.
Yeah, we do know that our frontline workers certainly are very, very vulnerable during this time, not only physically, but of course emotionally as well. They really are taking so much strain. But you have partnered with the Gift of the Givers, Dr. Suleiman. You have teamed up with these amazing people on this initiative. We know the amazing work that you've done across the country throughout this entire period and before. But let's talk about your role specifically as it pertains to this particular initiative. What role are you playing?
We are the distributors of the aid that's given to us. Good morning to all of you. It's fits in with what we're doing because we've been highlighting the plight of healthcare workers since the beginning. In fact, from the 15th of March, our first statement was that to fight the pandemic, we have to make sure there's enough healthcare staff, more staff brought into all the hospitals because they're going to get burnout. Many of them are going to die. Many of them are going to get quarantined. And to take care of them to fight the pandemic, you need healthcare staff who emotionally, physically, you're supported in every way. Of course, that hasn't happened. And as a backup measure, what Kilona and the other team members are doing is in keeping with what we've been doing from the beginning from March. We have been supplying hospitals for healthcare workers with chocolates, with juices, with water. And we gave an example that of just a few weeks ago at Livingston Hospital, where there was huge pressure when the second wave started. We were all aware about Nelson Mandela Bay Metro. And we talked to the medical personnel almost every other day on the phone. And then one morning when we spoke to them, it was not the same. They were just no energy, no life, completely demotivated. And they said the cases are too many, our colleagues are getting ill, and too many people are dying. That same weekend, we had planned the bikers had come and they would deliver food items to the 4 soup kitchens we were running, supporting in PE. And we said, look, can't you divert and take all these bikers and go to Livingston Hospital? Just to show acknowledgement to the doctors and the healthcare workers. And healthcare workers includes the nurses, the porter, the tea lady, everyone involved in those COVID settings. And they said, why not? What a pleasure. And they drove up there with the motorbikes, and the impact it made was incredible for the motivation it gave. It's all about motivation, emotional support, psychological support, and what Kilona said at the beginning. It's there to show them that we are with you and we acknowledge you. So it just fitted in naturally that when they asked, can we join? It's something that we do all the time, and we were just very, very grateful that they came up with the idea. And the more people come up with this idea in the country, the greater it's going to be.
Dr. Mtias, thank you so much for the efforts in this space, and we know with other vital supplies that you have been spreading through your vast network. We cannot tell you how much we appreciate your work. Kilona, thank you so much for kicking this off. We're going to keep your details on our social media platforms to hopefully rally as much support as possible and prompt a start of this kind of initiative and carry that hashtag Hospital Heroes right across the country. But a massive thank you to both of you.
Thank you.
Oh man, we do know that our healthcare workers, they have been on the front line. They really have worked so hard. It's tough, it's difficult, and they've been doing this since it all began. They deserve all the recognition, all the support, all the appreciation that they can get from us. Let's rally behind them and behind this campaign as well. We also do need to remember that a great way to honor our healthcare workers really is to adhere to the COVID-19 regulations and protocols. Wear our masks and social distance so we do relieve the pressure. We'll be back in just a bit.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back to your Feel Good Breakfast Show, Expresso here on SABC3. This morning we are joined by infectious diseases specialist Dr. Emil Reed, who's back to answer all of your burning questions regarding the COVID-19 virus, like are masks really protecting us from the virus, and should you retest after your isolation has ended? Well, Dr. Reed has all the answers here.
Doc, I'm going to jump straight into it because we don't have a lot of time and we've got so many questions. So let's kick it off with the first question, which I think is still a hot topic. Are masks actually working or not? I'm hearing theories about the fact that it's reducing our intake of oxygen, it's allowing us not to operate efficiently, and then I'm hearing counter arguments. So what does the professional say?
Well, masks are amazing, and masks are assisting us, together with social distancing and sanitization, to get through this pandemic. And as said earlier, this virus is spread via droplets. So you can imagine if we have a mask, it actually is the first line of defense, which means that a specific droplet will be caught up in the mask and not go out to actually infect other people. And that's why we don't like masks with these little holes in, because the virus can actually escape through there. And also, if you do wear a cloth mask, the important thing is to have at least two sort of levels and layers, and you might sort of be able to put in something to protect between the two of the two layers. And the important thing is that surgical mask and also the N95 mask is really only for use of healthcare professionals. people suffocating because of masks, probably using not the correct sort of type of mask. So if you use a cotton, for instance, probably the best jeans, denim, cloth type of mask, and not to use vinyl or plastics in any way.
Okay.
Yeah. Then many masks not only for yourself but for the people around you as well. When it comes to having tested positive for COVID-19, do you have to retest again to see if you're COVID free? And also, what precautions do you take after that?
Well, the answer to that is no. You don't have to retest. And the reason why is the following. In studies that have been conducted in hospitalized people that are very ill because of COVID-19, after about day 9, they couldn't culture any live viruses.
Oh, wow.
Now, if you look at the test we use in order to diagnose COVID-19, it's a nasopharyngeal swab, checking for the RNA of the virus. And sometimes the RNA is still present, which means the genetic material is still present, but the virus is non-viable. So it's almost like us digging up the graves of our grandparents.
Corona fossils.
Finding their DNA, but they're no longer alive. And that is what sometimes happens when these tests are repeated after, say, a week or 2. You find that patients are still positive, but there's no viable virus at all. And if there's no viable virus, you are not infectious in any way. And having said that, obviously the problem is that 80% of people who contract SARS-CoV-2 are asymptomatic. 15% become sick, and only 5% becomes critically ill. And that's the problem. So a lot of people are walking around being positive, not knowing that they are positive, and therefore spreading the virus. And hence the reason also why mask is so important, because if you're asymptomatic and you wear a mask, you're not going to infect people around you.
I definitely think that is the unintentional, the unintentional terrorist right now is the asymptomatic patients that are unintentionally spreading the virus. Now,
exactly,
it's a fact that we're in the second wave, and a lot of us have been infected, and currently Mzansi is infected. So what is your suggestion when it comes to eating, my diet, things to maybe take into account and incorporate, and things that I should maybe stay away from when I do have the virus to make it a little bit better?
Yeah, I think the most important thing is to actually know that no food stuff, vitamins, minerals, etc., can prevent or cure COVID-19. It can only support your immune system to get stronger in order to fight this virus. So people that are ill, people that are critically ill, struggling to breathe. And as you know, if you struggle to breathe, you actually lose and use a lot of calories just to breathe. Because breathing under normal circumstances is a passive exercise, and whereas when you are ill, breathing becomes active. So we find that people requires probably 5 times more energy when breathing and struggling to breathe than if they are not ill. So high proteins needs to be taken in, low sugars, low salts, etc. And the most important thing is that to remember is that when you're ill with COVID, cannot smell, cannot taste, and a lot of people lose their appetite. So you have to almost like force feed these patients, because they do require the energy in order for them to breathe and in order for them to get better.
We have a question here from a viewer of ours, Uti, good morning. My question is, what precautions are recommended for graveside funeral services during COVID-19?
Well, I think that's been a horrible feature of this COVID-19, because none of us who lost loved ones during this time could bury them in a traditional way. And unfortunately, there are 2 major risks. The one is contracting COVID from the person who passed on. So in preparing the body for viewing or for burial, you need to take the necessary precautionary measures, wearing gloves, wearing specific clothes, wearing masks in preparing that body, and immediately afterwards throwing away the clothes and also sanitizing. The second component of funerals are known to become super spreader events because a lot of people attending the funeral are usually not aware, as we said earlier, that they actually positive for the virus. So one of the recommendations is you need to look at alternatives. And we know virtual funerals are in, but it's probably the coldest thing you can do. And if you do want to have a grave site or a church service, to keep it small and to only allow people within the family, in the bubble, in the household that you stay, to actually console one another because they are already in a single bubble already. They can drive together to the gravesite, etc. And there should be no mixing of different bubbles or family members from different places because we don't know their status in any way. So sanitization, keeping physical distance is of extreme importance, with only the household of the member who passed on being together as a single bubble.
Well, Dr. Emil Reed, I can't thank you again, and our numbers are going absolutely crazy. So infectious disease specialist Dr. Reed will be answering all of our questions on the coronavirus live after this. So stick around for that. And we'd like to thank you once again. And obviously every other individual as well has sent through these questions via our social media platforms. And remember, you can give us a call on 021-110-5552. The number is busy though, and it's coming in hot. But of course, stick around. We'll be answering all of those questions.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back. You're still locked in. It's your Feel Good Breakfast Show here on SABC3, and we are live and continuing our health discussion this morning. And we've got infectious disease specialist Dr. Emil Reed, who's still with us and is ready to answer all of your questions on the coronavirus. And again, a big thank you to everyone who has sent through their questions. And it's time to deliver on these answers. All right, Kukla, you got anything coming through on your side?
I'm not sure if we have some callers on the line right now. Not yet. Doctor, we're still continuing our conversation with regards to... Oh, it sounds like we have Kathy on the line right now. Kathy, hello. Are you with us?
Yes, I am. Thank you for taking my call. I just wanted to ask Doctor, my husband is going for surgery maybe in February for the spine op. And I'm just concerned, if he's going to contract the COVID at the hospital.
Cassie, do you mind please repeating your question? Our line is a little bit blurred.
Okay. I just want to, just reiterate that my husband is going for surgery.
Okay. So I think Cassie's husband is going for surgery.
February. Yes, he's going for surgery in February. So I'm just concerned if he's going to contract COVID at the
hospital. Okay.
Okay. The good question. I mean, people are scared of going to hospitals for other reasons because of COVID, because people are scared of being infected while they are at the hospital. And the fact of the matter is as follows. If somebody is scheduled for surgery, usually about 2 to 3 days before the time, a nasopharyngeal swab is performed. And if that person is negative, they get transferred to what we refer to as the green part of the hospital. And in the green part of a hospital, there are patients that all tested negative for SARS-CoV-2, whereas the red part of the hospital are where all people are that are COVID positive. People under investigation goes to the so-called yellow part of the hospital. And for Cassie's sake, with her husband testing negative before surgery and going to a green part of the hospital, the chances of him acquiring COVID during his hospital stay is minimal to zero. And the important thing is not just will he not contract it from other patients in the vicinity, because we do physical distance the patients in the wards. Also with the nursing staff and the doctors, everybody wears complete PPE, which means even if the nurses, physios or doctors are infected or carry the virus, they will not spread it to the patients.
Okay, lovely. Well, I hope that answers that question. We've got another one coming in for you, Doc, and this is Mr. Govender. I believe he's coming in from the KZN.
Yes.
And he's got a question. Mr. Govender, are you with us?
Yes, I am.
Hazza, what's your question for the doc this morning?
Okay, the question is, it's following up from last week when the female doctor was there. Regarding, I know we have the incubation period for 10 days, and then the doctor mentioned that after your 10 days, you go back to normal, but then you have symptoms in your system for the next 90 days. So I want to know, every time you have those symptoms, is it contagious to the next person?
And it's a good question, Doc. I must just add on to what Mr. Govender says, is because a lot of the guys that I've spoken to as well complain months after about fatigue, I don't feel right, slight depression, way beyond those 9 to 14-day periods that we are in isolation. So great question.
A fantastic question. And also when I had COVID, I mean, I still continued to have symptoms for another 8 to 10 weeks afterwards.
Wow.
And that is called the so-called long COVID. Long COVID. The important thing to remember is that you will have symptoms, or the majority of people will continue to have symptoms afterwards, very mild symptoms, slight shortness of breath, muscle aches, etc. And the important thing that Mr. Govender also asked is whether you are still contagious or not. And the answer is no, you are not contagious at all. So continue with your rehabilitation program, continue with your nutritional supplementation program throughout this period. But the answer to the question, no, you're not contagious, but prepare yourself for the long haul of the post-COVID syndrome.
But also just continue taking care of yourself and masking up, please.
Yeah, I was just going to say, I think it's such a brilliant question. And I think a lot of people are worried about whether or not I can reinfect somebody.
Exactly.
And the question that I think is still up for debate, we've heard a lot of research, is how long and when can I get it again? Some people are of the opinion that, okay, cool, I've had it, so now I'm pretty good.
You're immune
I'm immune and I can go about my day. But where, and a lot of research has proven that this is the case, but where exactly do we start to find ourselves being very vulnerable and being making sure that it's a necessity, if anything, to ensure that we are not doing anything to further cause a spread on this?
Yes, I think that's a very important question. We had some cases where reinfection were proved, and those are very few and far-fetched cases, anecdotal cases.
Okay.
The important thing for us, if you had COVID, is to make sure that you have good antibodies. And remember that those antibodies are specifically for the virus that you encountered. So obviously with the new variants that have been developing, we are not sure whether those antibodies that you have acquired with your bout of COVID is actually neutralizing towards the variants as well. And what we see in some of the research that were published in the last week or so is that you might require more antibodies in order to fight the new variants and the new strains, or not strains, variants and mutations of COVID, which means that you might be reinfected with a different variant of the same virus.
Okay.
And that is also quite worrisome with regards to the development of vaccines. And a lot of companies are now talking about adding another booster dose of the vaccine in order to complement the already existing vaccine that people have received in order to accommodate those variants. So only time will tell to what the effects of the new variants are for us to be reinfected with SARS-CoV-2 again.
Got you.
It's all so complicated, but you know what? We have another caller in line with a question, Doctor. This one comes from Cicely from KZN. Good morning to you. What's your question for the good doctor? From Gauteng. Cicely, are you there? Cicely from Gauteng. Hi, how are you?
Hi, fine, and you?
Very well, thank you. What's your question for the doctor?
My concern is, with all the load shedding, how secure is the vaccine? Hello?
Hi.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. Cicely is asking how sure we are that the vaccine is safe and how secure is the vaccine. Well, to answer the first question, you know, vaccines, in order to be accredited by the FDA or the CDC, etc., has to go through various robust testing and trials. And yes, this has been probably the quickest vaccine that's ever been developed. But because it was a worldwide pandemic, everybody was involved with the development. There was sharing of information, sharing of genetic material and sequencing, hence the development of a vaccine within a year. And those vaccines that are available are safe, and those vaccines that are available are effective, more than 94% effective. So all vaccines do have minor side effects, and those are usually local, where they inject the vaccine. And some people might even within the first few weeks develop mild systemic effect. And obviously, if you're allergic to any component of the vaccine, you can develop an allergic reaction. But if we look at the pros versus the cons of these vaccines that are available, I mean, there's no doubt that we should take it. And remember what I said right in the beginning, our only way out of this pandemic is through vaccines. The only other option is to actually go through a third, a fourth, a fifth, a sixth wave in order for herd immunity to develop. But unfortunately, it has never been done that we allowed herd immunity to develop through spreading an infection, because it will be absolute carnage, and we will still sacrifice millions of lives if we allowed herd immunity to develop through that process.
Never mind the infrastructure that we have that would just absolutely not survive. But Doc, it's been an absolute pleasure to have you and to answer all these questions that I think Mzansi's just been dying to know. So thank you for feeding us with the knowledge.
Pleasure.
And I'm looking forward to our next chat. But for the rest of everybody else out there, I just wish you safety and the rest of your health and the ability to treat as many patients as you can along the way.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Kukle.
Of course, guys, don't go anywhere. We've still got some more magic on this beautiful Tuesday out here on the Expresso show. So stick around for some more.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Okay, we're going to bring the rest of the team in here.
Please,
Similarity, how are those vocal cords feeling, girl? Ready to rock and roll. So, of course, last week we challenged you guys to our weekly karaoke session, and we apologize for last week's performance. It was crazy, but we had a lot of fun. And, of course, Kutle took on the challenge to sing Weekend Special by the late, great Brenda Fassie. And a couple of you have sent through your singing videos. We are so proud. But before we kick off the entertainment, I challenged Jamie to sing off next week. So what's it going to be, girl?
It was tough one. It was very tough. I was like, we all need to sound good, but I'm going to the 90s. So tell me what you want, what you really, really want. So tell me what you want.
I'm down with that. I'm down with that.
Wanna Be from Spice Girls. So sing along to it, send your videos to us. We would like to show it live on the show.
I like the sound of that. The number is on screen. You can WhatsApp it, sing your version, post your videos to the WhatsApp line 071-640-6551. We'd love to see you and feature you on the show. Maybe make you famous, girl. Maybe make you famous.
Yes.
All right. Are you up for it? We'll come in with the background vocals. We'll do our
Are you guys
absolute
going to
best.
join
We'll try.
me? Okay,
We'll
cool.
try.
I'm going to ask Ryle to join us as well because
Get in
we
here,
did
son.
the same for him last week. I think it's only fair.
Did someone say they need a backup singer?
We are here.
Yes. It's karaoke though.
All right,
okay.
so your words will be up there.
I just want to make sure I'm not blocking you guys. And can you see everything?
All
there
right.
we go.
Are we going to help you with the chorus? What's the plan?
We'll do our best. We'll do our best.
Wow.
Here we go.
All right, take it away.
Hey.
I know it's only a Tuesday, but hey, we're taking it to the weekend right now, everybody. Come on, dance, dance, dance. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Da, 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 da. Hey. Okay, okay, okay. You don't come around to see me on a Tuesday.
Woo, yeah.
You don't have a chance
Nice.
to call me on the phone. Yes, you don't come around. Hey, to see me in a week. You don't have the chance.
Yes, girl.
Okay.
Roll it.
Call me on the phone, yeah. Okay. But Friday, no, it's not mine. Okay, okay. No. It's coming. You need to dance. Feel it. Hopsa, feel it. Hopsa. There we go. But Friday night, yes, I know.
Yes.
I know I must be ready for ya. Just a little for ya.
Friday night, yes, I know I must be ready for you, just waiting for you, yeah. I'm your weekend special. You're my weekend special.
I'm your weekend special. I'm your weekend special. Woo!
I'm your weekend home.
Yeah. I'm your weekend special.
Another lonely night. On my own I can't.
Okay, sing, girl.
For how long for your life?
Yes.
I need your touch. Yes, I do.
Yes, I do.
You don't come around. Hey.
Where are you, man? Why aren't you coming down?
See me in the week.
No respect.
Have the chance. Hey, hey.
To call me on the phone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why not?
Okay,
Why
my
not? Why aren't you
dancers.
calling me?
Yeah.
Okay. There we go.
That be some
There
acapella
we
in the
go.
building.
We're going to continue this one on social media. Kutia, you're a superstar.
Thank
we love
you
you guys
so
at
much,
home.
everybody.
We'll see you online and we'll see you bright and early tomorrow morning. We love you. Never forget it. Go, girl. Go, girl.
Woo!
Made with love by Clover.
Another feel-good production.